Coming up on Now You Made It Awkward podcast.
Every tool that we've ever created in the history of anything has been used the wrong way.
Yeah.
Every single tool. I honestly, you know what? This is not to get too sidetracked. I'm starting to subscribe to the idea that humans are not actually from Earth. Because all we've ever done is spend time changing Earth to fit our needs.
Yeah.
But you listen to a video of them speaking, they talk like 40-year-old dudes. Like, they don't sound like a fucking 8-year-old who's like mush mouth and all this other stuff. They speak eloquently. They understand everything. They're not fucking morons. And you know why? Because they've been raised by people who've been fucking hammering shit into the dirt their entire fucking life. And they were standing right beside them as soon as they fucking could, picking up a small hammer. I did three podcasts in a week, and one of which was a fucking live show in front of an audience that wasn't listening.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I could go, that fucking sucked. I'm financially ruined from it, all this other shit. But then I can also go, those guys enjoyed it so fucking much, they want us to come back and do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're so scared of it because we've been lied to all this fucking time. If you thought Chernobyl was completely and utterly fucking toxic wasteland, and now you know people live there and always have, what have you possibly been lied to about the AI stuff?
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body for the
Yeah.
And we're so scared of it because we've been lied to all this fucking time. Now, one thing I want you to consider, what have you possibly been lied to about the AI stuff? If you thought Chernobyl was completely and utterly fucking toxic wasteland, and now you know people live there and always have, what could you have been lied to? And
Have you
mind
seen Moonfall?
Yeah, it's so fucking bad. It's such a bad movie.
I thought it was cool. I mean, it was kind of cheesy.
It's fun, but it is bad.
Well, I only bring it up to say that
Yeah.
that is honestly, I think that is a very plausible outcome to AI.
What do you mean? Oh, well, yeah, no.
It started out great at
I mean,
first,
it's
built
just-
this amazing
it's advanced-
civilization.
it's
Now we're
advanced Terminator.
We're harnessing, dwarf stars and
Yeah.
and building,
Yeah.
planet-sized
And-
constructs, and it's great for humanity for a long time. And then something happens.
Yeah.
And,
Something tweaks.
and that will inevitably happen.
And we already know.
Something will inevitably happen.
Well, here's the problem. Every tool that we've ever created in the history of anything has been used the wrong way.
Yeah.
Every single tool.
I mean, you brought up one day, I mentioned in one of the men groups meeting that I'd been working on, like an alternate fusion thing, just like a side project, just to play around with, right?
Yeah, just for funsies.
Yeah,
Just reinventing fusion technologies for fun.
So
We haven't even started the show, by the way. We're 48 minutes deep.
Oh,
we haven't even
shit.
done an intro.
Sorry.
So hold that thought for just a second. And let me do the intro because we haven't even got there yet. All right. Holy shit. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast that went, I know I can't use all of the footage that came before this, but we've clearly been having a very heated discussion all the way right at the beginning of this. Hope you guys are hooked already. So this is episode 197. We are crushing ever so close to that actual 200 mark, which, by the way, we did record the finale of episode 200 live show this past weekend at Mad Llama Brewing, which my good friend over here is wearing a Mad Llama shirt, so that's awesome. You're not on camera right now, but it's fine.
Oh, I got you.
Yep, either way. So, of course, I am Shoky. You can follow me on the Shoky-related links down below, whether it's Shoky Reviews, Shoky Reviews 2, or the Doesn't Have to Make Sense live stream channel. And make sure you subscribe to this one. I know we're going to gain a couple of extra subscribers just from the episode that I've already referenced from last week with James talking about the flock cameras, which I have to do the edit on that either tonight or tomorrow. But either way, I've already rewatched it and relearned a lot of that information about how those cameras work and the actual functionality. So, and that's what we're debating right here at the beginning. But what is the other things? Oh, yes. So if you want to help support this show and get the full uncut version of everything that just happened earlier, because I know I have to edit some of it out, you can go check out the Shoky Reviews Patreon, where you'll get to see all of that. And guys, sorry about the poor lighting. The lights are up. They're not plugged in or wired or anything right now, because literally we did episode 200 a couple days ago. Like, trying to come back and set back up. The fact that I bothered with the cameras was already important. So I got cameras, I got Fat Cam, I got Meme of the Week. We got everything going on today. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention it. We do have a Discord. Go check out the Discord. That's where you can submit memes of the week. Oh, fuck. What else we got? Oh, yeah. Clips channel. Go check out the Clips channel because odds are the discussion that we just had will probably end up as a clip here in about a month after the initial viewings have gone down. And otherwise, if you want to contact the show because my normal co-host isn't here, you can reach us at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail at gmail.com. You can go follow us on Naimia_pod on the Instagrams. And, of course, Now You Made It Awkward Podcast on the Facebooks. And that's where we gained a few subscribers already or followers for just the James episode. So that's good.
Nice.
Having a local activist that isn't named Tim come in and help us or tell us all about stuff, and he is going to come back and tell us about the hotel contract.
Good.
When he's ready for that information. He's still cooking on that one. So either way, guys, I don't have a Hefe or a Chad with me today. Hefe needed a break, and Chad just got back from his cruise and had a $15,000 printer explosion. So that's a bad thing. So yeah, it sucks. Hope he gets that new thing. But go help out C4 Graphics. Go check out C4 Graphics. And, well, once he gets the new printer up, he needs to pay for it. So go give him a few jobs to do. And he was in the middle of a giant wrecker wrap.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not like he can start it over because it won't match. Yeah, that sucks for Chato. That sucks for Chato. But with me over here, as you've already seen him, it's our good Muppet friend. And Tim. By the way, I did forget to mention while we were at Mad Llama the fact that you look like a Muppet sometimes.
Yeah.
I forgot that came up the first time when you came on the show, and then it came up again at the first live show.
I guess it's just my friendly demeanor, I guess.
Well, it's also just the way your hair is arranged. You got the nose, you got everything. It's like you just have a Muppet vibe about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if that Muppet was calling for revolution, if it was Animal, screaming "Viva la Revolution,"
something like that.
Or actually, that would have been Ratso probably in one of those things if I had to guess. Either way, you can go follow him at Fortified Ironworks. Right? I got it right?
Yeah, I think there's underscores between Fortified.
It's on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I always put it on the screen
Yeah.
too.
Fortified Ironworks.
On Instagram, there's the underscores. On Facebook, it's just we need to get you a proper actual business page because you don't have the actual URL for it yet. It's just Facebook.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So we got to get you set up with just the actual business page. Oop, that's the wrong button. But as you guys can see right here, there is not another camera right here. This is a blank spot. However, up there, we do have the Fat Cam, which point knife hand towards sky, a little bit down. No, that way. A little more. Pretty much right there. That's where the Fat Cam logo is. It's kind of over that spot. So this is our Fat Cam. We have Fat Cam. It's good. Hi, Fat Cam. So either way. Okay. So you were saying about Moonfall AI and then something else where you were going after that. I forgot.
Oh, I started saying like part of the reason I quit working on the
yeah
it's because I was concerned about weaponization.
What did I like some fuzzies?
And it was all theoretical anyway. There would have to be other technological advances for us to be able to do some of the
which we will get from AI.
Possibly, yeah.
So look at it this way. Have you seen the car that they had AI develop its chassis? So these car designers, they just said, let's feed what we want to do. Want to build a sporty car. We tell it the basic design. We feed the design we want from the outside. We give it its basic needs. We give it the weight that we're shooting for, and we're going to have it design the chassis. It spit out something that you couldn't even fucking believe.
Yeah.
And with the new 3D printing stuff, they 3D printed this very organic, slim, and looked like it looked like a fucking muscular fucking body, but it's a car chassis. And it flows. It's super light. And there's mounting points for all the hardware they have to put in, the exact spacing they want. So they gave it the design and said, create the best chassis you can. And then they went, oh, that's fucking good. Because it can think in ways humans can't. Like, because we think three-dimensionally.
Humans think in ways humans can't too.
That's true. We all think in different ways. But the thing is the machine can see outside the box that we don't even know exists. It's like everybody's got a box, whatever that might be. You got a box that you can't think outside of,
Right.
but I might be able to.
That's kind of what we talked about earlier with like not even being able to fathom how smart some people are.
Yeah. Well, as George Carlin once says, think of all the stupid people you know. And think about 50% of them are stupider than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole point is for everybody who's stupider than you, there's also people smarter than you.
Yeah.
But also people who are stupider than you already think outside of your box. Perspective.
Yeah.
It's like they don't think the way you think, so they might have solutions to a problem you could never come up with. It's the Asgard on SG-1. If you remember on SG-1, the Asgard accidentaled their way into the replicators. You know, the little tiny nanobots that created bigger, not so nanobots that started overtaking technology. Speaking of AI problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would absorb, take over, and then replicate that technology, absorb it into themselves, and almost like the Borg, right? That was their version of the Borg, but without intelligence. It was just basic drive to replicate and expand. And the Asgard kept building bigger and better battleships and all this crazy weaponry and all this other shit. And then they went, we can't solve this problems. And then they went, you know who can? Those stupid fucking apes on Earth. And they literally said, it's like you guys use a black powder to project a metal object out of a tube to smash these things. We would never think of that. Because they only know their advanced alien technology. They would never, they're thousands of years well past bullets.
Yeah.
They couldn't
kind of master ballistics. That's something humans are
Yeah,
doing, so.
right. But anybody who's gotten space travel would have had to master ballistics. But you get so far past it, why would you ever use ballistics again?
Right.
It's like once you have kick-ass energy weapons, why would you ever go back to throwing rocks?
Right.
By the way, look at it this way. We've never gotten past a steam engine, right? Humans have never gotten past throwing rocks. We just found better ways to throw rocks.
Yeah.
Every gun is just throwing a rock at a higher rate of speed.
Yeah.
With
more
smaller
accurately.
rocks. With smaller rocks.
Yeah. Smaller rocks, higher rates of speed, more accurate.
No, but I'm saying like literally gunpowder is just tiny rocks.
Yeah.
Tiny rocks arranged in a way that make it go that way. It's like we just got better at throwing rocks, just like we got better at turning fire into spinning something.
Yeah.
It's like, so every evolution of our technology is the simplest technology cranked up to the nines. Like to the point that we have intercontinental ballistic missiles.
I think AI
to launch a steam explosion.
I think AI,
think about that,
if stewarded responsibly, could definitely be something great for humanity. But I just don't trust people to be responsible stewards. And again,
nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
we used them a couple times, and then we said, okay, yeah, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but the only reason that happened is
because we needed the biggest stick.
Well, yes, and because now we set up mutually assured destruction, right?
Which I think is a myth. I'm at the point where I believe mutually assured destruction is a myth, and there's something else keeping them from using them. Because it is the solution to every problem we have.
I have friends from the military who told me that is true.
No, what I'm saying, I'm saying it's the concept of mutually assured destruction is a lie, because we have the best missiles, we have the best radar, we have the best everything. So why would we be worried that they could get their missiles off the ground before we got ours in the air?
Sure.
So it's in some ways we already know other countries have lied about their shut, right? I think at some point when we were all almost exactly on the same level, yes, it was mutually assured destruction. But the thing is, it's like, so we launch at our enemies, right? Let's just say hypothetically, we take out Iran, Russia, China, North Korea.
Really an enemy though?
Yes.
I don't know that they are.
They've always been. Until we get rid of that old school notion, they're always going to be. But the point is that by the time we've got our actual things in the air doing the thing, whether that's coming out of a fucking stealth plane, whether that's coming from a fucking satellite, something else, what makes you think that our enemies would launch specifically at us? Because we're a pretty fucking hard target to hit. Look how many, we have to cross a lot more oceans to get to us from most other places. We're an incredibly large country. Most of the places that we'd be targeting would be very small parts of a very large country.
Sure.
Much like you can't invade the U.S. Not you can't have a ground war in the U.S.
Yeah.
One, the people will defend more than anything. I mean, the West Coast is probably pretty easy to take over, but the people right next to the West Coast will be like, "Oh, fuck you," and move over to help defend the country, right?
Right.
But the point is, you can't get ships close enough to us. In theory,
Mhm.
we have nuclear subs everywhere
Mhm.
because that's our main actual line of nuclear defense. Remember, we're the same country who was so paranoid during the Cold War. We kept like several hundred B-50, maybe like 100 B-52s in the air, ready to drop nukes on Russia constantly for weeks. We kept them in the air. Like, they never landed.
Refilled in the air and
They
everything.
refilled in the air, and they were doing a constant circle. Operation Chrome Dome. Look it up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like we were so paranoid about nuclear war, we kept all of our nukes in planes circling the fucking Arctic Circle constantly for weeks on end
Wow.
and just refueled them in the air. And occasionally when the crews needed to be swapped, that would be the only time they would land them. And they'd land them somewhere in Canada and they'd fucking get them back in the air.
Mhm.
But we did that shit. And there was a couple mishaps where we accidentally dropped some nukes on our own selves.
What?
Yeah, the only people who've actually ever nuked the U.S. was ourselves. Total accidents, but we've done it.
Whoa.
I think North Carolina got nuked by accident.
Are you shitting me right now?
No,
How have I never heard this before?
because most people don't know about these things. Watch more GunTube. You learn these things.
Gun tube.
Yeah, watch more GunTube. Brandon Herrera did a whole video on it too. Also, so did Fat Electrician. But yeah, so like the only people who were dumb enough and or brave enough to bomb us was ourselves. Not to mention we've blown up more shit in the fuck. Look at it this way. How many nuclear tests have we done in Nevada and people still fucking live there? Right?
Yeah.
So why the fuck would we really be scared about using nukes nowadays? Because we'd have tactical nukes. We wouldn't have gigantic bombs that are going to be wiping out entire cities. We have very small, very pinpoint precise nukes to wipe out exact targets
But then why does it need to be a nuke?
for the biggest possible explosion in the smallest amount of effort.
But if we're trying to be tactical and not destroy things we don't want to destroy,
The point is to not destroy everything. That's why I'm saying mutual
I see
assured
what you
destruction
mean.
is not real anymore because we wouldn't destroy everything. We would hit our very specific targets and we would hit it very, very hard. Like if Donald Trump wanted to wipe out the Kremlin itself with a nuke and nothing else, they could.
just micro nukes, basically.
Yeah, very small nuke, very small payload, big enough missile, fast enough to fucking get to its target, and then it would wipe out effectively just the Kremlin and the things directly around it, but the city would be fine. It's like
What about radiation and all of that?
most of the radiation is on initial explosion and then it's gone. That's the thing. Modern nuclear weapons don't work like the H-bomb, which, by the way, was not atomic. It was just a huge explosion.
Well, it was an atom bomb.
It was an atom bomb, but it wasn't nuclear. It was
Right.
atomic.
Right.
It was the same concept. It was a giant, it was a big ass explosion. It was
Yeah.
dynamite did the initial blow up, and then it was the quick expansion of the actual radiation or radioactive material. Once that went, cool. There's all the energy gone.
That's basically all bombs are, right? It's
It's a whole lot of energy packed in a very small space.
right.
So-
It's pressure containment until containment breach.
Correct.
You
So
start a nuclear chain reaction inside of, like, I don't know, something that's this thick of steel or whatever.
yeah,
And then it builds up pressure until the
I mean,
container fails.
we can make very, very small, comparatively, nuclear weapons because we don't need to wipe out a countryside.
Right.
But if we want to take out, I mean, look at it this way: we've evolved to the point. Which would you rather do? Bomb an entire city block to take out an enemy you know is in a car, or take out the driver of that car?
Obviously, the driver, yeah.
And we can do that with a Hellfire missile with knives on it. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I think
It's literally, it's a fucking Hellfire missile that deploys 6 fucking swords instead of an explosive warhead. So when it gets to the target, it blasts these fucking swords out, hits a very specific target. The missile itself does have an impact, but not a giant explosion. They killed a fucking dictator dude on his balcony with one, and the house was fine.
wow.
That's a Hellfire missile. It's like, no, we've created better ways to kill people very precisely. So mutually assured destruction is horse shit. Because we're not going to wipe out entire countries. That's stupid. You don't kill the people that you want to change the minds of.
Right.
And you don't kill the people that you're trying to free. You know, if you wanted to free people from the communist dictatorship in China, which is not true communism anyways, because they have to have capitalism or else they'd be poor. It's like they make way too much money to be totally communist.
No, they're capitalists.
They're capitalists
business all over the place.
They're capitalists where everything is owned specifically by the government. So that's just all it is. But if we wanted to take out only the government and leave the people, fine. We can do that. We know they have similar technology because they stole it from us. But then we have to know that we also have the ability to stop that from hitting us in the first place. It's like it all goes back and forth to the point that, honestly, mutually assured destruction doesn't mean that we kill each other equally. It just means that all of our very expensive toys all get destroyed at the same time on the way to being used.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because everybody's going to fire their nukes and their anti-nukes and everything else, and we've got fucking the Golden Dome nonsense that we're trying to build, which is all going to be incredible. Our radars that are all linked together with our F-35s and our fucking ship-bound missiles and all this other shit. We have insane fucking technology that is all also AI based because it works. It's like, so here's the thing is you can fear the evil end of any tool, right?
Yeah.
But you're not scared of a butter knife.
No.
But you can be killed by a butter knife.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you just had a very quiet fucking large brick building over there that's painted sky blue that is making every computer in your area work flawlessly, why would you care?
It just depends on what else it's doing.
But what if it's literally doing nothing else? What if all it's doing is just being a big ass computer over there? What if it's not an eyesore? What if it's powered by its own little mini nuke? Which is what Trump said, fucking make happen. Get these mini nuclear. Dude, because I talked about it with Ed.
You were talking about powering data centers with mini nuclear reactors?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what Trump said to do. He's fucking pulling all the regulations so that they can do that. So they no longer have to build these gigantic transmission lines to keep power from the nearest plant, which is 40 miles away. They can, if they can get it done, which, mind you, the mini nuke technology, there's a couple companies working on it right now. One of them is having a lot of success comparatively because it's like we're just miniaturizing the shit we already know how to do.
Right.
But you're talking about literally these small nuclear reactors can easily power many city blocks constantly, never shutting down.
Yeah.
And if anything goes wrong, you flip a switch and it just turns off because it doesn't have a giant fuck off reaction. It's like just literally they're the size of a small tanker truck.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like just a little water tanker. That's it.
That's the size of the whole reactor?
Yeah, the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that running that data center and it doesn't affect anyone else's power. And you figure out a better way to cool it than fucking sucking the water out of the ground or taking it from a lake.
At least not fresh water.
No, don't take fresh water.
Why can't we cool it with salt water? Is it because it's
because obviously electronics and salt water do not mix.
But okay, so
because 1, extra conductivity, 2, extra corrosion. It's mostly
that makes sense, but
yeah.
But
also, why aren't they filling them with liquid nitrogen or something? You know, because that's extremely dangerous. That's why. That was a joke. I know exactly the answer.
Liquid nitrogen. What do you mean?
For supercooling the computer.
But what is wrong with?
It's just massively dangerous because it freezes things instantly, and also containment problems could be a massive toxic problem.
Why does it need to be contained?
Well, because it can't just float freely down the hallways.
Oh, not down the hallways.
I mean, like, because usually you submerge things in liquid nitrogen to keep them cool. So you would have to have massive, massive, massive tanks. One, we don't have that much liquid nitrogen, and it takes too much energy to.
What if it was gaseous nitrogen that was just moving?
I mean, a whole bunch of contained nitrogen gas usually is not a great thing.
I used to test pipelines with it.
I know. It's mostly inert, right? But it's also just the idea that. I mean, you can, but then also what happens when it fucking leaks?
I would just tighten shit up.
It's like, like a door. Like the door leaks, and now you've got a nitrogen leak in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now, if they made a buttload of small-ish data centers, which already exist. Once again, data centers already exist.
Yeah.
Before the super ones came around. They've already existed And here's the thing: if you have say look at it this way. So if you want to get mad because they tear down a whole bunch of trees and fucking do all this other kind of stuff, and then they plug it in right next to a fucking lake and they start sucking up all that water for that fucking lake, right? Okay, I get that. But what if you have a neighborhood that never sold any homes?
You want to put
And
it there,
you tear down the core of that neighborhood and put it up in there. Nobody ever has to go in there. It looks like a pretty neighborhood, and it's not taking any more power than a neighborhood would have.
If they could find a way to power it themselves, cool it themselves, not drink up public water sources.
And that's what a lot of these people are working on. Now, the dipshits who came before, yes, they're all about just rape and pillage.
Right.
It's the old school fracking. Not new clean fracking, it's old school fracking, but for this, right? But once again, we already know if you dig only a few feet down, you get colder ground.
Mm-hmm.
Problem in Texas, we have a pretty shitty water table. Like, you don't want to go too far, especially Southeast Texas, because it's not going to be great for anybody. So you want to stick something electronic in the ground. It's pretty fucking wet down there.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get cold, but it won't work.
Well, it's because this part of Texas is essentially a swamp. I mean,
Yeah.
even our
So
forests-
having them anywhere down here would fucking suck regardless.
What are we at? We're like 215 feet above sea level right here. Is all.
Something, yeah.
It's
We're not high at all. No.
It's not much.
It's too damp and all this other things. So you also have to have a giant hermetically sealed building that usually doesn't have lights in it because they don't have people in them.
Right.
They have lights, but they're not necessary, right? Because I even made this joke the other week. I was like, yeah, you just go in there with a fucking spotlight on your fucking hat and you're good to go.
We wear those all the time at work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're going to be working in a giant fucking thing. But here's the thing. There is an industry around building the fucking thing, just like if you struck fucking oil.
Yeah.
How bad is striking oil for a fucking local ecosystem?
Not bad at all.
Now.
Yeah. Now. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So just like everything else that we've ever come across, every bit of human innovation has always sucked for more people when it was first created than 20 years later. When we finally fucking innovate our way out of the problems that innovation caused, right? Well, like when you fucking accidentaled yourself into an oil well back in the day, usually there was some kind of toxic problem because now you've got oil fucking everywhere.
All right.
But once you get a really nice, clean running derrick and you bury the rest of it under the ground and it's just constantly doing its fucking thing,
Yeah.
it's generally pretty clean fucking equipment.
Yeah.
You can have a mess.
Well, sure, but if a pipeline leaks, we come out, we cut it out, we put it
Right.
in, we fix it.
Right.
I mean,
So the thing is, the current concept of the data centers absolutely fucking sucks because they also don't know any better yet.
yeah.
They haven't had a chance to learn better. They're running headlong into a fucking problem that they're causing for themselves. And because somebody just said, here's $7 billion to fucking make it happen, they don't care what problems they run into. They bury those problems.
Yeah.
Until eventually we all come along and the right people get in charge and the right people fucking make new laws and go, hey, stupid, you can't destroy the environment for these fucking things. Because like you were mentioning climate change and all this other stuff, which you and I both know climate change is a fucking lie.
I think it's pretty much bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least the way it's been represented is a lie. The climate is changing, but it is not changing because we are here.
Well,
We are
right.
here and the climate is changing.
There's sun cycles, the poles shift. There's a lot of things that trigger climate adaptation. And so, I mean, I get all that, but I do think we are having some negative effects. I was actually talking with my brother the other day, and
well, yeah, we've had some negative effects. There's
Sure.
fucking 8 billion people on
Right.
this planet.
Right. Well, I was talking the other day about, so we're talking about computers and heat sinks and how heat sinks on computers work. And I contrasted that with roads.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. Concrete absorbs heat all day
Yep.
and then radiates it out all night.
Yep. We're constantly warming the planet. And also, one thing that I've mentioned for a long time, you go through a brand new fucking parking lot anywhere in a broad daylight,
Dude, yeah.
you can't see.
Yeah, I have to wear sunglasses.
It is so fucking bright because they're actually trying to reflect more heat
Right.
up.
Right. They're trying to reflect it.
They're trying to
Right.
reflect it. So the whole point of that, the reason why concrete roads and everything are that bright gray color as opposed to black asphalt, which you do everywhere else, right? Back roads, country roads, driveways, they're all black asphalt, right?
Right.
Why?
Because you don't have to worry as much about the absorption there.
But when it comes to these giant concrete roads,
I mean, Houston
freeways.
will be 10 degrees hotter than Conroe,
Yeah, always.
and we're right there.
Always.
Like that makes
But
sense.
also buildings blocking wind, a lot more glass reflecting outward
Sure,
from the
right.
high-rise buildings. I guarantee you near the Anadarko building is warmer than Lake Conroe.
Sure, exactly. Yeah.
But the same thing is why the lake is always warmer or cooler.
No, I
the same
agree,
reason.
Right. I agree with that.
Ecologically. So I'm not arguing on the point that the sheer amount of concrete, once again, another thing humans are really good at is just moving dirt. Because concrete is just dirt. We move from one place to another to make the dirt way we want the dirt to be.
Right.
Right. I honestly, you know what? This is not to get too sidetracked. I'm starting to subscribe to the idea that humans are not actually from Earth. Because all we've ever done is spend time changing Earth to fit our fucking needs.
Yeah.
It's too hot. We invented air conditioning.
No, there's
we don't like where that dirt is. We're going to make new dirt and put it over here and make better dirt.
There's not really a place on Earth where people naturally thrive.
Not without technology. But here's the thing. We have people on this planet, usually in tropical climates, who thrive perfectly fine and don't have technology. Well, because they've learned to live with the land they're on.
Right.
They limit their numbers, usually by disease, if we're going to be fair here. But the point is like when everything was significantly smaller, we lived off the land. We lived off only what we can produce and only what we needed. Everything was fine. However, it was still hot and it was still cold. But you're probably better off in a hot environment than a cold one because you can find more shade than you can find wood in the winter.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like it's way easier in this concept. I can take off everything I'm wearing and get in a shady spot and try to stay cool. Now, my white ass is going to have a significant problem in the direct sunlight. However, if my family's there for enough generations, we're going to get darker.
Yeah.
Because that's what fucking happens. There's a reason why people who live near the equator for thousands of years have darker skin. That's called evolution. It's like if you're in a place that has significantly hotter climate and significantly more sun, you automatically get more melanin because your body evolves to do so.
I'm not that I'm a big proponent of evolution. I mean, maybe to some degree.
No, I think it's key.
I don't know. I am a Christian, but I've literally seen the studies where we took like birds from, Africa and introduced them to South America and then watched them generationally adapt.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe humans are just so advanced we don't really need to adapt very much.
Well, we're constantly adapting.
Well,
we adapt faster than anything else.
Yeah, but we adapt intellectually almost always.
Okay,
right?
but
like if you were to send me to Africa right now, I won't be brown next month. Well,
No,
I'd be tan
genetically,
for sure.
we do not adapt that fast because we live so long. Elephants also don't adapt that fast.
Do we live that long though?
Comparative to most regular species, yes.
Well, I think
especially mammals.
So I agree with that. So check this out.
But we also artificially make ourselves live longer.
I was talking to
we're in weird territory today.
This is fun though.
We're not even on any topics we wanted to talk about today. We're just on all kinds of weird shit.
I was talking the other day with my brothers and I can't remember, it doesn't matter now, but I was talking the other day and we were talking about lifespans of mammals.
Yes.
Right? And I compared that to maturation rates.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So when you look at a dog who's like goes from born to full grown in like 2 years, and then the dog lives for like 20 years.
If that,
right?
Yeah.
So they can live, somewhere between 6 and 10 times the length of time it takes for them to fully mature. Humans are lucky if we live 3 or 4 times as long as it takes for us to fully mature. Well,
it depends on what you mean by fully mature.
I mean, 25.
Okay, so if you're talking full brain,
full grown, full body, full brain.
I would say, I would argue that we are able-bodied by 14. At bare minimum, we're able-bodied
with
by
underdeveloped
10.
prefrontal cortex.
But forget that part because that's only due to modern technology.
No, that's the irrational decision making.
No. I think
how much dumb shit did you do between 14 and 25?
Honestly, not that much.
I did a fuckload.
Well, that's you. So here's the thing. I'm more evolved than you. Now, the thing is that look at it this way. That is a 20th century invention. Because prior to this, when our lifespans were 30 to 40 years max.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
I do. Well, because we didn't have fucking cures for diseases. Remember, we used to bleed people because we thought they had the fucking stuff inside them and we needed to get it out.
I know there were some societies and points of time where things were crazy, but
not even 150 years ago.
Yeah, but on the same
just
same
in
turn
this
of coin,
continent,
on the same turn of coin, you've got these villages where people live to be like 120 and they don't have
because
technology
they don't have anything to make things worse for them.
I think that's the key.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Those people evolved and didn't change. We evolved and changed.
Even at 14.
So, okay, hold on. Let me go back.
Times that long.
No, but look at it this way. A 14-year-old in the age of Jesus, those people were living roughly to if you were 40, you were like ancient at that point because you were supposed to be having kids. Do you know why our sexual prime is when it is? Do you know why human puberty is when it is?
It's about 18, right?
No, puberty. Once we are
sexually
mature is way earlier than 18.
But what's not really?
Yeah. Okay. When does a girl first get her period? When does a dude like start growing hair?
Is that sexual maturity?
Yes. That is literally the point. The point of puberty is literally once your human body.
But don't 12-year-olds have periods? I mean, they're not.
That's what I'm getting at.
Baby, are they?
No. This is yes. Dude,
they're physically ready to carry a baby at that point. I still thought there was
that
it can't happen.
I mean, unfortunately, it happens significantly more often than it should. But look at foreign countries where they don't have the moral age ranges we have.
I mean,
they have 12-year-old fucking children that are mothers. But here's my point. The point is, it's modern humans, especially in the West, that mature mentally incredibly slowly because we've extended childhood until our 20s. Go ask a fucking farm boy who didn't do 18 years of fucking schooling, who just got out there every fucking day from the time he could walk, worked the fucking yard, worked with the animals, learned from his dad. Mind you, he got his basic schooling, so he understands math, reading, and all this other shit. Those kids, even saying kids, they're mature fucking people. Like, you know why the fucking dudes in Iowa who lived in Iowa their whole lives are fucking massive and jacked their entire fucking life? Because they had testosterone when they were fucking 10. Because they've been out there doing the hard fucking labor the whole fucking time they've existed. You know, look at it that way. It's like especially in the areas where we're very city bound and don't do a fuckload, like we're lazy, we're fat. Some of us just spend our lives collecting toys, but you know, whatever. But the point is, when you have to live your life from the moment you're capable, just trying to exist, you have a completely different existence to somebody who never has to work for anything until society says you can.
I get that.
Why do we limit?
That's essentially phenotypes, right?
Yeah. So, but the idea is why did we limit the age range of working to teens?
Well, it's 15 with a work permit in Texas.
Why?
Is it not? Well, why would we do
Are
it?
Are your young ones useless?
No, I use them for shit all the time.
Right. So why can't they be paid to do the same thing that they're doing? Now, mind you, little.
I do pay them.
Exactly. Your kids have a job for you.
Yeah. But that's the only way they really can. Landon, obviously.
Why?
But no.
Because back in the day, when you were striving for fucking existence, you had a million kids to work your fucking farm, to work your fucking land. And if you didn't have a whole lot of kids, unfortunately, you had to go buy some humans. Well, pay for employees. That's what I'm saying.
During the Industrial Revolution, though, there was an epidemic of child labor.
Because and what also came with the Industrial Revolution?
A lot of
war and death.
Sure.
That's why you had to use children and women in factories, because a lot of men died.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's when we had to send fucking teenagers off to fucking war. You got to think about this. Some of the craziest fucking stories from World War I, World War II are dudes who lied about their age, joined the war at like 14, and they lived to be like 110.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were fucking raised differently and their lives were completely different. They had a hard life and they lived longer because they developed and matured earlier than we do. Like, why did people live longer back in the day? It's like there were some people, there was an age of disease that obviously shortened the human lifespan, but also once we figured out, oh, hey, don't keep the food near the poop. That usually is a good way to do it. Hey, bring in the cats to kill the rats so the fleas don't kill us with the fucking Black Plague. Weird. That fucking happened. Like every time we've had a little bit of innovation after massive death, human lifespan usually expands a little bit. But with the expansion of human lifespan usually comes with the shrinkage of maturity.
So,
and I don't mean by time, I mean like the concept of maturity has shrunk because people were mature. Look at it this way.
So how do you reconcile that with like biblical beliefs? Like the Adam
What do you
was
mean?
like 900 years old.
I think that if we're talking biblical time, I think that was already different. I think anything directly involving God was on a different timetable.
Okay.
So I don't think the earth was created in 7 days. I think that was 7 of God's days.
Yeah, but
now did the first two people forever, like the first 2 people in existence, the literal archetypes of humanity, live for hundreds of years? Yeah, why wouldn't they? They had no real hardship. They didn't have anything to kill them that they weren't already familiar with. Yeah, they were kicked out of the garden, no longer had their technical immortality. But what was going to kill them?
yeah, I mean,
Only the things they already knew.
Adam like 20 feet tall or something?
I don't even know. But his offspring later on would have been once the Nephilim got involved.
Well,
but
no, I thought that it was that humans, what has happened, kind of like what it almost like implies, is that
I don't have a biblical scholar here with me.
Me neither.
Where's James?
But if I remember correctly, it's basically when our population was reduced, like after the flood, after Noah's time.
Yeah.
Right. People were larger and people did live longer. And basically
But once again, after reducing the population.
Well, and becoming more incestuous, essentially.
Well, they didn't have much choice there,
They didn't have much choice.
Yeah,
right.
That's the unfortunate part.
What that has done is that has caused basically entropy in humans. We've gotten smaller.
Oh, well.
We've gotten weaker.
I argued a long time ago with, not by that, I mean, I didn't have an argument. I made the argument that there was only ever so much life force in the world, and the more humans there were, the shorter our lifespans were. That was my argument. Is that there was only so much of a well of human souls and energy to go about. And the more we stretched it thin, the more disease, the shorter lifespans.
Yeah.
And if you notice, and getting a little personal here, the longer humans live, the more issues we have, both physical and mental. Yeah. Like literally, how many people have you seen that are at the end of their days, probably for years on end, right? They're artificially extended their life, but they're not really them anymore. They're a shell of what they used to be, because literally that life force, that soul, whatever that was, is gone.
Yeah.
Or it's just worn out, or there's not enough connection left to it. Now, if you also subscribe to the idea that the human bodies we run around in, they're not us. They're just the body that we're tuned into.
Yeah.
That all of our souls exist on a frequency on another plane, and we're just tuned into here. And here is just where we live, and when we die, we return, we just cut off the signal and we go back to where we were. That's an interesting concept. I kind of like that, where it doesn't, when, sometimes when you feel like you go to another place when you're dreaming, it's just that literally you're just chilling where your soul is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way. But the point is that I think that especially Western ideals for humans has led to a delay in maturity, not mental maturity, but just maturity in general, because now we've become perpetual infants for way too long. I'm speaking for myself. I'm literally a 43-year-old dude with a room full of fucking toys and a lot more in storage. Now, a lot of people call that very immature. Why you surround yourself with childish things? 1, because they're cool, but 2, would you call me an immature person knowing me the way you do? Like, do I act? I mean, like, I make silly jokes, I make dick jokes and fart jokes and whatever, but it's a different thing compared. Now, if you took a 43-year-old from when you were a kid, think about that. How much older did a 40-year-old seem when you were a kid?
I guess it's hard to say, because I mean, like, I get what you're saying, but like my uncle, who's one of the most rugged dudes I know, I mean, total outlaw. You'd have to meet him to really understand. I mean,
Okay.
he's like an outlaw caveman.
Sure.
Okay, but even he has model cars and model
okay, so
trains.
beyond that, I don't mean hobbies, because hobbies are just how we distract
This
ourselves
is a
from our
hobby.
depression.
This is a hobby.
It is, but it's also this is what I call my monument to my loneliness. But that's just honesty. This is literally a monument to my loneliness, because I had no friends and no one to hang out with, so I bought toys to attract friends from the internet. That was the literal reason. So, but the point is that if you take, because I can't remember what, there's an old photo of some kids from like the 1940s, and they're like getting ready for church and whatnot. They're like 8-year-olds. But you listen to a video of them speaking, they talk like 40-year-old dudes. Like, they don't sound like a fucking 8-year-old who's like mush mouth and all this other stuff. They speak eloquently. They understand everything. They're not fucking morons. And you know why? Because they've been raised by people who've been fucking hammering shit into the dirt their entire fucking life. And they were standing right beside them as soon as they fucking could, picking up a small hammer. But the point is that we, as humans, used to grow up in the same way other animals did.
Right.
But we perpetuated infancy significantly longer. Like, your kids are, let's see, how old's your youngest?
He's 6.
6. Okay. I've spent a little time around your kids, not enough. Do any of your kids still have some speaking issues, speech impediments, or have a hard time with certain words or a lisp or anything? And I mean, like a small child would have.
Not really. Jameson a little bit, but he's also missing like half his teeth right
Yeah, so that's fair. That's just the teeth problem.
Right.
But I know people who have kids who were going on like 10 years old, and I still couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying, because they've never been talked to like an adult. They've only ever had baby talk or child talk. It's like, do you think that people in Jesus's day were going, "Oh, baby," to a 2-year-old?
Probably not.
Or were they saying, "Hey, what are you doing here, boy?"
Yeah.
Get to the thing. It's like, literally, you spoke to people. And this is one thing that I always, even when I was a kid, I don't remember ever getting little kid talk. Like, I've got a very good memory. I can remember at bare minimum being 2 years old, telling people I'm 2. Like, not I'm this many, holding up and saying I'm 2. I could read and write at a young age. I was taught very, very early on by my mom. Why do we wait so long to teach kids things? Why do we limit skills?
Yeah, that's something I've looked at. Like I took all the like wood shop classes, and then when I was in high school, I did some electronics and some auto tech. Like, I like to dabble. You know?
Yeah, you're kind of an everyman.
Right. Now I have noticed some of this with other people. Like, I see other people kind of raising their kids, or just, like, you're at the park and you see other families, and I do definitely do some things differently. Like,
Sure.
Like, my kids are always expected to work. Like, you mentioned the baby talk. I don't really do that. I mean, a little bit when they were very, very little.
We're really little, yeah.
Right. But mostly, I mean, I kind of like, hey, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, go do this. Or
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes.
Cuss at your tiny child.
I kind of do sometimes, honestly. Like,
when necessary.
I don't have a lot of filter.
Yeah. I've seen it. I know.
But
I've seen you drinking. Lightly.
I do like Landon and Noah.
Yeah.
As soon as they show interest in something, like, I jump on it.
You reinforce it.
Right. And it's the same thing with the little kids too that I'm extending now.
Let me ask you, just, do you jump on reinforcing their interest, or do you show interest in it as well so you can learn the thing that they're interested in?
Both.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Because there's one thing with just reinforcing it, like, cool, you're into sports, I'll buy you footballs, but I'm not going to be interested in actually learning the things you need to know.
No, like, personally, I think soccer's kind of stupid.
A little bit.
I think I prefer baseball and football and American sports, right?
Sure.
But and martial arts. Like, I'm actually really big into martial arts.
Except none of the martial arts are American.
Yeah, fair enough. But
fair point, right?
It's gotten pretty, MMA has become a pretty big thing here.
Sure. All kids should be in jiu-jitsu.
Right. So, like,
I wish I had done it.
Something I've done with my kids is I'm like, you're going to learn self-defense.
Sure.
You're going to learn an instrument.
Sure.
You're going to play a sport. I don't care what discipline you want to learn in self-defense. I don't care what sport you want to play, and I don't care what instrument you want to play. But you guys are going to do one of those things. So like Landon, for example, he did Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice.
He plays guitar.
Nice.
He's a straight A student, plays baseball, played baseball at Conroe High.
Yeah.
Now he's going to school to be a firefighter.
And he's incredibly well-rounded, right?
Yeah, he is. And I've taught him to weld when he was 10.
Oh, yeah. So you taught him a very valuable skill
And now
very early.
Now he makes like $1,000 a week welding for me.
Yeah.
And he's 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he does this.
He's 18 and a useful adult already.
Yeah.
Which he was probably a useful adult at 16.
Yeah, he was. No, he's been working with me since he was 16.
And how many fucking
younger,
and how many blue-haired nose ring fucktards are still completely useless at fucking 29?
Yeah. No, that's
and they've learned no skills other than how to complain.
When I was in school, that's something I noticed a lot. Yeah. And it was so weird to me because I was going to university trying to work on my degree. Originally, I was going to school for PR.
Sure.
Which I discovered was fucking useless. And
personal records.
Right, it's horrible. Personal public relations.
That's what it is at this point, right? Everybody says, I'm going for PR.
Yeah.
Personal record at school? Weird.
So, I mean, it was public relations and my minor was in psychology.
Oh.
But what I discovered when I got my first internship that paid all of $9.75 an hour. Ooh. Meanwhile, I have 2 kids.
Yeah, right.
I was like, okay, so what I'm doing with my summers now is I'm going and I was working for Ritter Construction. I was pipelining.
Nice.
So I would do my school year. I had a buddy.
So you went and got a good paying job while you were fucking blowing out your money on your
Exactly.
internship.
So I would go work all summer for my money for the next semester.
Gotcha.
Right. And I could make about 15, 20 grand in those 3 months.
Damn.
Right. That means it's good pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's pipeline work.
Well, yeah, it pays good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't actually pay that great, but you're working a shitload of hours and you get per diem.
Yeah.
Right? And I was staying.
That's
with a
why.
buddy.
I mean, it's like no, it pays good money for what it is.
I mean, I think I made $14 an hour.
I mean, it's a shit job, but back then, that's a good rate of pay.
Well, right. I mean, $14 an hour, and you're working 80 hours a week, and you're getting $100 a day per diem. Yeah. I mean, it adds up. Especially when I'm living with my buddy and his camper, sleeping on the pull-out in the living room, and I didn't have any.
Yeah, that's a pipeliner's thing,
right? So I mean, that's how I did it. And it was so weird to me because I would go to the pipeline.
Yeah.
And there's no bullshit, no excuses. Get the fuck up, get the shit done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody out there's a hard ass. I mean, there's actually a saying you can't be a pussy in a pipeliner.
No.
Right. And then
which is why I'm not a pipeliner.
And then you would go back to the college, and it's just all these whining fucking rich kids.
Yeah.
And I hated it. And then
because one of those things, especially considering the major you were going for, one, personal relations with Jesus fucking Christ, but also psychology. The funny part is you got a psych class while being on the pipeline.
Yeah.
Because one, you got to see a lot of mental illness, but 2, it's just the idea of you got to see meritocracy versus corporatocracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
so you got the extremes of both worlds in the way you went to schooling.
Well, and I remember after I got my associates before I went to work on my bachelor's.
Yeah.
I remember my first time I went out there.
Yeah.
Right. A buddy of mine, he called, he said, "Hey, there's this job opening. You know, you've been asking about it. My brother said he could hook you up. I need you here at this time on this day." Right. So, I mean, I knew when I left my house, I had the job, but technically I still had to get there. I still had to apply. I still had to do the drug test, all the everything, right? So when I handed in my resume, it had a copy of my degree to it. And I'll never forget this. The lady at the office, she starts flipping through it. She looks over my resume. She flips to the back. She sees my degree. She pulls it off.
Yeah.
And she throws it in the trash can.
Useless. Yeah.
Yeah. She said, "That's useless here." She said, "It'll actually probably do you more harm than good."
Yeah.
Nobody wants a snooty ass around.
Exactly.
Like, you're here to work.
Absolutely.
You're here to follow orders. You're a soldier in this army. And I was like, fucking A, okay.
See, that's one thing that because you got that dual education, that you understood exactly what that meant. But if you had only gone to school,
right,
like proper college, you would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Because it's the same lie that we were all sold. Go to college, you'll get a good job. I went to college. I have not yet worked a job that had anything to do with the college I've got.
Yeah,
except this one. This right here that I'm doing technically is what I went to school for.
Okay.
Technically. But it took me 20 plus years to get around. Well, not quite. And once I started doing YouTube stuff 10 years ago, so, it took me till 2016 to finally apply anything that I had learned at school to doing a job.
Yeah.
But mind you, it's my own job. Meanwhile, I have every blue collar job you can fucking probably think of, where something heavy needs to be moved from one spot to another, or you're gonna go get fucking filthy and hot under a machine, or you're gonna be slaving to get people their fucking food. All of those are meritocratic.
Yeah.
You know, there's no fucking horse shit there. There's work your ass off or don't make money.
Yeah, and the smartest guy that is the most efficient and gets the most shit done, that's the guy running everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And the thing is that, like, you know, there's, and you probably have seen this just with how things work around, well, anywhere I go, there's a reason why I always end up in charge. I don't want to be in charge.
right.
Why do I always end up in charge, Tim?
I think because you're level-headed and you're well-rounded in your knowledge, and I mean, in my experience, anything involving technology, you're one of the first people I'd call.
Yeah, I don't know fuck all.
I mean, you know more than me.
Yeah, but I still don't know fuck all. But the point is I don't like rubbing it in, but you have a similar problem. You're smarter than most other people in the room,
Yeah.
but you're also a guy who welds fences.
Right.
So they're already going to underestimate you.
Right.
So the thing is that it's so, one of the weirdest things was whenever me and my friend Evan were having an advanced physics conversation across the box line at work
Okay.
one day. We're having an advanced physics discussion.
Right.
At the same time, doing backbreaking labor,
Right.
and sweating our asses off.
Yep.
If that's not the dichotomy of modern man, I was like, yeah, I didn't go to school to learn this. I learned this because I thought it was cool.
You're an autodidactic learner.
Yeah. And also the fact that I don't like structured, I like some structure to learning, but I'm not good at being indoctrinated.
Right. Yes.
And that's why school won't work for me. Like, even right now, if I wanted to go get I never got a degree. I have no degree in anything. I did 6 years of fucking college. I got 0 degree.
You didn't finish your associates?
No.
You
Because I changed my major and I switched to auto tech because I was more interested. And I wanted to have more hands-on doing stuff because I'd already been doing the other shit for 12 years.
Right.
It's like all the art, all the web design, all the 3D animation, all that kind of stuff. I'd already been doing that all the way through since junior high. I'd been doing that with the technology. They weren't teaching me anything new. And I'm paying them money to learn something I already know how to do. To the point that I skipped classes because I'm like, I skipped an entire month of intro to computers. It's like, I learned this when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't evolved hardly at all. Or I've already been using this same shit
Right.
the entire time through school. I was in advanced placement. And I'll put it to you this way, Tim. When I went to auto tech, one, because I wanted to learn about cars. I love cars. I wanted to know how to work on them because I got tired of being fucked over by my mechanic. Because he fucked me over on a fucking rear main seal and a front pump seal on my car.
Just the seals?
So I had a rear main seal leak, right? So pouring oil out, right? So he replaced that one. The next week I had a fucking front pump seal on my transmission. Why? Because when he pulled it out, he didn't replace that front pump seal on my transmission.
Mm.
And then he said, oh, normally I would do that, but this time I didn't do it. Charges me another fucking $450 to do it. Instead of warranting the same exact fucking job.
I mean, if you're already having to pull the trans, why would you not just do both seals?
Because he wanted to make more money.
That's stupid.
Yep. Either way. So that's when I wanted to learn how to do my own shit. So look at it this way, Tim. I'm literally only a couple years into college. So I'm not even 20. Maybe. Pushing 20. I barely ever worked on cars. Just enough. I'm literally learning this stuff as I go, right? But I know how to turn a wrench because I've been working on stuff for a good quarter of my life. When I come into these classes, my teachers realized immediately, oh, we don't need to teach him anything. He's going to figure it out when he wants to learn it. And they just let me fucking work on my car instead of sitting in class.
That's actually kind of cool.
Like this, I had one teacher who was like, no, you got to sit here the whole fucking time. And the other ones were all like, okay, cool. If we have to do in-class learning, that's fine. You got to sit here and you got to do that part the first 20 minutes of class. The rest of the time, you can do whatever. So no joke. We were in our brake class. I did learn how to do brakes really quick. And once I got past the point of that, I didn't need to learn anymore. So I was literally pulling the engine out of my fucking car while everybody else was figuring out how to do drum brakes.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I figured that out already. We're good. I need to go do this. It's like I'm working on what I need to work on. Meanwhile, they're working on the shit they're being taught.
Yeah.
It's like at the same time, I'd be like, okay, cool. I need to do a brake job on my car. I'm going to bring it in and do a brake job on my car. Everybody else is doing whatever they've got on the shit on the shelves. I'm fixing my car in class. Like, the funny part was I was doing an automatic transmissions class before I did intro to auto tech.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. I'm doing a more advanced class first.
Right.
Because that's how timing worked.
Yeah.
It was the same semester, but it was timing. But the point was, is like once we got the intro of auto tech, they're like, oh yeah, you don't need this shit. You go do the thing you're already doing.
Yeah.
And they'd realized even then, going back to maturity, it's just like the idea that they went, oh, he's not fucking around. He's talking, is like, mind you, a couple of my teachers were significantly older than me, like old man teachers. And one of them was closer to my age, but I talked to them all the same. It's like, I'm a 20-year-old punk who barely knows fuck all. But I was raised by old parents.
Right.
Like old parents. My parents were old when I was born.
Yeah.
I was raised different. It's like once we moved to the country and I had to mow the yard, I had to fucking dig holes, fucking put up fences, put roof a fucking house,
Right.
build a whole fucking shed from scratch.
Super fun
It's
stuff.
like, yeah, I mean, literally, it's how I have all the skills I fucking have.
Right.
And then we needed to work on the lawnmower. Okay, we figured out how to fucking work on the lawnmower. If you didn't
Sharpen
figure it
the
out, you
blades.
pull out a fucking Chilton. You pull out of whatever book to learn how to fucking...
Right.
Every car
Man,
I
love
bought...
I have so many of those Chilton books.
Dude,
You just never see them anymore.
Back in the day, because they went out of business, because the internet became a thing.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I still like a good book.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I still have all of my Chiltons for every car I owned up until that point, because I wanted... And then I even had the Haynes manual as well, because it had details that Chilton didn't. But I didn't know that until I fucking went and looked. When I figured that out. But the point was, I was raised different. So I was coddled early on. And then once things changed, you know, we're fucking raising chickens. We got dogs. We got cats. We got all this shit. We didn't have any of that when I lived in the fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in the suburbs. I had a dog, but, you know, that was it. You know, I learned valuable fucking skills like taking care of animals, putting up a fucking fence, how to knock. I enjoyed bashing fucking concrete off old fence posts. Because I got to swing a fucking hammer and it was fun.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old fucking bashing things with a sledgehammer for fun and doing my dad a service because he didn't want to do it.
Right.
I'm out there chopping wood because, hey, this is fucking fun swinging a fucking mini axe.
It's kind of...
Until I bashed myself in the fucking foot and then it hurt. But anyways, but the idea was, look at the fucking kids nowadays. If you were given that option to a kid who hadn't had it before now, you'd look like a fucking maniac. But that's just the real life that I lived. And even prior to that, my dad was raised on a fucking farm in Central Texas. It's like he grew up, like when I tell people that I am the grandson of slaves and the son of a cotton picker, they look at me sideways. And it's like, what are you talking about? You're white as hell. I was like, oh, you think only black people ever fucking picked cotton on a farm?
Yeah.
It's like, there were no black people on the farm where my fucking family came from because they were all Swedish fucking farmers.
Yeah.
They bought the land or were granted the land from the U.S. government in central fucking Texas. And then somewhere in the generations, it got passed down to where my dad grew up on that farm. And then they moved from central Texas to fucking Houston, what is now the high-end version of the Heights. But they had a tiny itty-bitty fucking farm in the Heights. And sad thing is that land got sold way too fucking early because if they had waited till the 90s to sell it, they would have been millionaires. But
my grandpa always says that about the plot that he used to own on 1488.
Oh,
He
Jesus.
said if he would have held on to it, and man, he was right. If he would have held on to it, look at 1488 now.
Right. But my whole point is that I grew up with people who had to work for a living.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, my parents eventually were both white collar business people. It's like, but they weren't.
Right.
It's like my mom literally came over here on a boat after World War II, after Ukraine was wiped the fuck out and they had nowhere to live. And they bounced from Germany to France and then eventually took the boat over here. Now, mind you, she was an infant, but she came over here on the fucking boat. Right. They were raised in a fucking very poor section of Houston that was a Ukrainian little, you know, what do you want to call it, enclave. You know, raised in a fucking old school Orthodox church where they beat you if you spoke the wrong language. It's like if you started writing in Ukrainian and they're trying to teach you English, they fucking rapped you on the knuckles till they bled and you learn better. They had a small they had a garden of their own. They grew all their own fucking food. They had chickens in the fucking yard. My grandparents had jobs where they could get them just to get some money going. Otherwise, the community took care of it.
Right.
And then any money you needed to like pay for electricity and shit like that, you just worked it. You go work the grocery store. You go do something or go change some fucking tires. I'm not entirely certain what all my grandfather did. But on the other side, somehow, as far as I know, neither of my parents actually went to college. As far as I know, no college degrees to be seen.
Yeah.
I would have been the first in our household. But the thing is, they both had white collar jobs. My mom was head of accounting at HLMP. My dad was actually, to be fair, I don't know exactly what my dad fucking did for Memorial Hermann, but I know it involved computers and he was head of his department.
Yeah. It is kind of nonsense today how we have this like, what would you even call it? Like, okay, I'll put it this way. You were talking about when you were in that class and how you got to kind of do your own thing because of the way you learned. My dad used to be, before he was running his business full time, at this point in time, I was just a little kid. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. And my dad was running his business during the day, and then he was working at HCC as the automotive engine instructor. Right?
Yeah.
He did some part of it. He taught about, it makes sense, my dad's an automotive machinist. So he did all the automotive machining courses, right?
Of course.
At some point in his career there, which I think he was there for like over 10 years or something.
Yeah.
At some point, they decided to pass some law or regulation or whatever fucking dumb bullshit. But they made it to where you had to have a degree to teach a degree course.
Yeah.
Right. And
which is ironic because you have somebody who's been doing it his entire fucking life,
owns a business
and owns a business doing it.
He's already been teaching
qualified.
This course for a decade.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know what that was. Just some sort of power grab, try to fucking get people in, bolster, charge all your staff to go back to school.
It was probably in that same time where it changed to one, no kid left behind, which was always a fucking lie.
It was stupid.
And the idea that you have to have a college degree to move forward in the world, even though the trades literally don't require it in any way. Like, the only reason you would ever need a degree nowadays is if you're supposed to be management.
Or I understand why you have to go to school to be something like a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or an architect.
Sure.
That makes it makes sense.
Yeah, something that, actually, I would even argue an engineer, you can be taught that
pretty simply
without having to go into fucking college.
And
you can learn it.
Depending on the scope of the project you're engineering, for sure. Like, I mean, technically, I do mild engineering all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's all angles.
It's for gates and stuff.
So yeah. But I mean, I know other people who also do heavier duty. I mean, look at what other Kevin does.
Right.
Yeah, he's a fucking engineer. Right. Like, it's what he does. It's like, his
whole job is putting out fires.
Yeah, from an office. But otherwise, he's a structural engineer. But the point is that at some point, we gave merit to things that, while took work, didn't show merit. Because what you learned how to do a job without having practical experience in the job. And then people like you, me, and your kids, we're just doing the job because dad said do the job.
Right.
And then by the time we're teenagers, we already know how to do a job, but nobody would give us a chance to do that job because we're 16 years old and don't have a degree. But I could go straight into changing fucking tires if I want. Doesn't mean fuck all, right?
Well, so like, take for example, Landon is already at 18 to the point where I will let him take on and handle smaller projects completely by himself.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Perfect example is just recently, I don't know if someone ran into him or what happened, but the gates in front of like the dumpster, they have the dumpsters. With
Yeah.
The ones behind School of Rock on 2920.
Yeah.
So something had happened to those. Got a call, gave
probably
a bid.
some dipshit trying to fucking back up to a dumpster and just ran into it. Yeah.
So they were all trashed. So I mean, this was easy projects, 2 gates. Now don't get me wrong, they're big gates, they're like 8x8 gates.
Yeah, big heavy fucking steel thing.
But at the end of the day, like, it's all square.
Yeah.
All it was basically like a frame and some gussets with a cross member, and you're gonna add our panel to it, right?
Yeah.
This is something well within Landon's scope, and he's done enough with me at this point. We've done way more complicated.
Yeah, you've done pretty fancy shit comparatively. Yeah.
Way more fancy shit comparatively, right? So I was like, hey, Landon, listen, I'm gonna give you $1,000 on this project. I mean, I think it's gonna take you 4 days.
Yeah.
And you're making pretty good money on it. I'm going to help you out with obviously like moving stuff around and, whatever. But for the most part, like I'm going to buy the material. You're going to build
get
this
it done.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. And he did. And he installed them. It was, we installed them at the like early part of this summer. So I had Noah with me as well.
Yeah.
And at the time I had a bunch of meetings and another project going on. So I was just like, hey, land it, boys, this is y'all's, and I'm going to pay y'all good on it. Y'all just get it knocked out. And they did. And it looks great. And those gates are up. And it's like, that was an 18 and 15-year-old kid that built those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're out here doing commercial projects, small commercial projects. Don't get me wrong, very small scale.
Yeah, but it's not just some shit from home.
Right.
Yeah, it's not something nobody will ever see. Or
they're kids out here doing real shit, making real money, real skills. Yeah. And I think just that alone is going to put them far ahead of a lot of their peers.
Yeah, and that's basically like the same reason, because there's a thing. There's a drive that is missing from a lot of humanity now.
Yeah.
Which is why we have 7.5 million empty jobs in this country and 7 million men without a job.
Yeah.
We have as many able-bodied men in this country who just refuse to fucking work as there are jobs that need to be fucking filled.
Yeah.
But why do we have people who have zero drive? Why do we have people who either refuse to learn a skill because they say, "Oh, that's beneath me"? Because how many people have you ever fucking seen, or you've gotten a side eye from somebody who whenever you said, other than people who are trying to hire you, what you do for a fucking living, and they give you a side eye. Like if I tell people like what I do, some people will be like, ugh, like it's fucking, why would you do that? Or the other people will be like, oh, thank you so much for what you fucking do. That's the difference, is because you have the people who have a practical version of life, and you have people who have an imaginary version of life.
Right.
And we have so many people now who have this pretend concept of what life is and what life entails and what work is and what payment for work is.
Right.
Like, and then you have people who are out there busting their ass every day just to get fucking by because they're just hard workers and they have the drive to do something or learn something. Or sometimes you got people like Jessica who went to school for one thing, said that wasn't enough, I want to do more, went back to school in her 30s, learned the next level of the thing she wanted to do, and then went back to work, got a better paying job at a better paying place, at least for a long time, happy with what she was fucking doing now because she felt more accomplished than she did before. And even very recently applied for another job that was way out of her fucking field in the same concept, but way out of what she's gone to school for, because she just wants to do something different and wants to just not feel in a rut in doing these other things. And that's something that people, I think, have become far too complacent with life. And that's coming from me. But look at it this way. I've been sitting in this room for years, as a concept, for 10 years now on YouTube. Literally no success. But I have people who listen. I have people I've established relationships with. And then literally this past fucking weekend, we put on the biggest show that we've ever tried to do, which, mind you, is twice. So it's still, and not only did I top what I did before production wise, I was smarter at it than I was the first time I did it a month ago.
Right.
And all because I was driven. You know how bad I wanted to fucking give up after the financial failure of the first one?
I can imagine.
And then I just went, no, I'm going to fucking make this happen because we have something fun here. And some people will see it and have fun with it. And not only that, I would be failing in relationships that I had established if I just gave up.
Yeah.
Other people can write off anything and everything as long as it gets hard.
Yeah. Well, the number of times I've thought about giving up, I mean, it's hard. And when you mentioned like, people side-eyeing me like, oh, this guy, he builds fences and gates, whatever.
You show up in a dirty shirt for something, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Welding holes in your fucking pants and a filthy
that's
shirt.
That's right. I came over one night for group and there's like...
Oh, you were disgusting that one day when you guys have been working down in like Southwest Houston and you were fucking burnt up and fucking gross.
And I came straight here. I mean, I was nasty for real.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Like I'm a blue
But we don't
guy.
care.
Right.
It's like because of who we are.
I have felt minimized at times.
Yeah.
Now, often, you'd mentioned earlier, like being the smartest guy in the room. I try not to be.
Well, you can't help it. It's inherent.
Sometimes it does happen. And
Well, now we know you want to be the funniest guy in the room.
trying to be.
Yeah.
Uh,
According to episode 200. Teasers.
But like it doesn't ever seem like it's people who are substantially better off than me are the ones that look at me like that. Don't get me wrong. There's been an occasion, you know what I mean? When I was in my BNI
that's
group,
the imaginary.
Right. Well, I don't know if it's imaginary or some of it. Like, I feel
No, I'm
people
saying it's imaginary. They imagine that they are better than you.
Right.
That's what I was getting at.
Right. But there's also been plenty of times where it's actually more often in those instances. Not that those instances are particularly often, but I mean, they do happen on occasion. But when they do happen, they're more often by people who I would view as not beneath me, but I mean, categorically, like, okay, hey, I might struggle, sure, but I'm creating a job for myself.
Yeah, you are your own boss.
Right. I'm making this happen. And yeah, I have ups and downs. My industry has, they say, the like cliche say is that it's feast and famine.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look what happened to Chad.
Yeah.
Like literally he's in famine mode right now when he was feasting a week ago.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but that's what happened to him.
And, but the amount of stuff that I have to deal with that I had no idea when I decided I was going to go and do this, that I was going to start a business,
Yeah.
The amount of stuff I've had to deal with, the amount of money I've had to spend, the amount of liability that is on you when you're the guy who's in charge, having to carry all the extra bills,
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that I'm doing so much worse than I ever have. I mean, don't get me wrong. I went from making like easy oil filled money to doing this. I'm definitely doing worse than I was then.
Yeah.
But not really. I mean, what is money the most valuable thing?
No.
Or right. Exactly.
It's like, so I'll put it to you this way.
It's time.
So I'll put it to you this way. I learned this lesson a long time ago. I've been at my company for 20 years. The first 6 years of that were feast and famine because we went through the 2008 to 2010 crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I was making a fuckload of money. I finally got out on my own, had an apartment with my buddy. Then I was making enough money to have an apartment on my own. Had a brand new car, had a whole bunch of fucking debt, had a whole bunch of cool shit, but I was paying all my bills. I'm having fucking fun, making a fuckload of money, making about $1,000 a week and cruising for a 26-year-old, right? But I didn't have a girlfriend. I was fucking exhausted all the time. I could hang out with my buddies and do all that kind of stuff. That was fun. And I had a lot of toys. Not like this, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't doing this yet. Then the famine hits. 2008, 2009, 2010. Fucking, I lose my apartment. I can't lose my car. I have to move back in with my parents.
Right.
Until I come across a friend who has a spare room in his trailer, but my rent was paying to renovate it. So I had room on my credit card, and so I used that to renovate myself a new place to live. And then we split the bills from there on out, and I lived there for 5 fucking years while trying to pay off my debts, got rid of my far more expensive car, got a significantly cheaper one, and I started living within my new budget because at that point, I also got a girlfriend who had a daughter, and I spent 3 years trying to be a stepdad and failing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we broke up, I also lost my secondary job that was one of my dream jobs. So we broke up, I lost my dream job, and got kicked out of the trailer all at the same time.
Damn.
Meanwhile, I got injured at work. I got extremely sick, and to the point I had shingles at the age of 26, which shouldn't happen. Actually, no, it was a little bit later than that. But either way, I was still in my 20s, and I got shingles. It's not supposed to.
Isn't that something that normally doesn't happen till like 40, 50?
Or older.
Yeah.
It's an immunity problem. It got to the point that I was so crushed in my soul, my mind, and my body that I was done with everything. And I stopped investing in anything, including my relationships. And everything fell the fuck apart.
Yeah.
Everything fell the fuck apart. And then I got lucky on someone else's bad luck. And one of my friends who was doing the job that I'm now doing got severely injured at work and was out, and they needed someone to replace him. And I was on the verge of quitting already. And I said, I'll take that job. So I got it, and I've been doing that job for the last 16 years. Sorry, 14 years. Math. And that was a significant pay decrease. Significant, like half, if not more. But I reworked my life so that I could pay my bills around the money I was making. I was no longer suffering physically and mentally. So I got myself back, reframed my situation, found a new group of friends, eventually found a new girl. Took a while, but I found a new one. And then eventually Jessica came along too. But I changed my life to where money didn't matter. It's important, but money wasn't the thing that was going to make me happy. It was just going to allow me to keep living while I was seeking my happiness. And that was the difference between myself and so many of my coworkers. And I look at them all driving brand new cars. I look at them after they fucking bought their second house in the last few years. They've all got kids. They all got these other things. And I'm like, those are some very cool things.
Yeah.
But I didn't kill myself.
Right.
So that was my goal, was to get myself to a point that I didn't want to kill myself.
Escape the depression.
So, no, I didn't escape the depression. I just escaped the concept of the only way out was killing myself.
Fair enough.
Because I gave myself a 2-year time limit. If I did not see significant positive change in my life, I was going to go ahead and end it. And I set myself the date. I was like, and about 9 months before that date, I met Jessica.
God works in mysterious ways.
So the point was, is I had to hit rock bottom to understand that, rock bottom is worse than I thought it actually was.
I think everyone needs a little rock bottom.
Well, here's the thing, is I hit rock bottom and then went, that hole keeps going.
Yeah.
And then I went, it only keeps going because I let it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have to go lower than this because I want to go higher and I feel like I can't. And that's the drive that I'd forgotten I had.
Right.
Now, mind you, the drive was in reverse because I had driven myself so far into the hole, both debt, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything was dead, right?
Right.
And then finally I had the drive to not want to die anymore. And I mean that in every aspect. But I had to find the way to not die. So many other people would have just given up way before I did. And the one reason I said, there was a long time ago when I was still super depressed and I would just wake up every day. I was like, I woke up again. Guess I'm not ready to die yet. And that's something that so many people would have given up on already. And in the same way, I see so many people who just are the same living dead that I was then.
Right.
With no drive. And even now, life happens. I get depressed. Sometimes I spiral. Shit goes wrong and I fucking lose it. Like my dad just fucking died. And now we got the chaos of my mom. But at the same time, I put on a fucking live show.
Right.
I did three podcasts in a week, and one of which was a fucking live show in front of an audience that wasn't listening.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I could go, that fucking sucked. I'm financially ruined from it, all this other shit. But then I can also go, those guys enjoyed it so fucking much, they want us to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Even though it was a complete another actual failure. But it wasn't a failure outside of what we did.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, it wasn't a failure within what we did.
Right.
It's a failure outside of what we did. So
I think we have a society that focuses largely on numbers in terms of like grabbing attention, and we rate that as some level of success.
Oh yeah, we have the attention economy now.
But I think it's actually, I think what you're doing is along the same lines of in terms of like what is a success and what is not a success. Is like, think about your random, not even like preachers, just like your fellow Christian that may, just be a shoulder for somebody in a hard time.
Sure.
And then that helps to somehow like bring them back to God. Like, even though you only helped one person, that was a glowing success, right?
Yeah.
And going back to some of the other things we've talked about, like, there were a couple of points where I actually felt successful, where I knew like, hey man, I'm more successful than what I even give myself credit for.
Sure.
And there were essentially two compliments that I got. One was from pretty much my best friend, Sean. We don't get to talk and hang out as much as we used to, or we've really kind of grown apart. Our lives have taken us in different ways, and we're both very busy. But man, it was a couple years ago, and I was talking with Sean, and we were talking about another friend who's always like bitching and complaining, but actually has like a really nice kind of cushy life.
Sure.
Like trust fund kid
Sure.
bitching about, you know what I mean? And Sean is someone who, in a way, I kind of look up to because he's had such glowing success. He started a custom home building company here in the Woodlands.
Nice.
And he's been relatively successful. He's done pretty good for himself. Now he's moving up into like starting to do like small apartment complexes and condos. He started purchasing franchises. So I mean, he's doing very well financially.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was kind of a fuck up, which because I was, you know, not that I didn't have some successes, but I always managed to find rock bottom, right? Yeah. And what
some
you
people live there,
but what you learn at rock bottom, you not only do you learn what you can handle,
yeah,
right? You learn from the mistakes you made that led you there. You're humbled by being there.
Yeah.
And I think it just generally makes the person who comes out the other side, if they manage to make it out the other side, you're a better person than you were. And
because you get to earn any of it.
Well, and then the perspective aspect too, right? It gives you a lot of perspective. And so the compliment Sean gave me is in this conversation we were having, he compared me to that person who was bitching.
Yeah.
And he was like, look at what you've accomplished with what you had, with the cards that you've been dealt.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a dad at 17. You know what I mean? You did what you had to do, the kind of childhood I had. I won't go into a lot of that, but I mean, I had a pretty rough childhood.
We'll do that a different day.
And
should have done it back in June.
Probably should have.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
And he's like, just look at what you've been able to do, you know. And then there's this trust fund baby over here bitching. It's just ridiculous, you know. And then another time, and this will something I'll always remember, is when I finally bought my house. I'd been working in the oil field. I had I had all 4 kids at this point. I'd been, divorced from Jessica. I'd remarried with Natasha, and I was working in the oil field at the time. COVID hit. We had some money saved up because I'd been in the oil field. Rates were low. Opportunity kind of fell in my lap, and we bought our place. And it was one of the last times I saw my grandpa before we lost him, and really we lost him before we lost him because of dementia.
I'm familiar.
I remember my grandpa coming out, and I just asked him, what do you think? You know? And he looks around at my property and my kids and my trucks, and he goes, boy, I think you got the world by the balls. And I was like, fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
That changed my whole life, honestly. Like, because at that point, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough, like, confidence in myself. I was like, damn, dude, I've been trying. It just seems like I keep, every time I, get ahead, it seems like a boot comes down. You know what I mean? And having someone like my grandpa with everything he accomplished, for him to look at me and what I'd done, and in my mind wasn't remotely close to what he'd accomplished.
Yeah.
For him to look at me and be like, damn, boy, you got the world by the balls, man, that has given me some strength to persevere through anything that's come my way ever since.
Yeah.
And
well, I look at something one way. Like, if I measured myself versus my parents, I'm a fucking total failure. But if I measure my parents or measure myself against my parents in chasing anything that is shaped like a life dream, I'm a massive success.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you right now, I don't know the last time my mom was happy about anything. And I mean that sincerely.
I don't need to laugh at that.
No, I mean that absolutely sincerely, because my mother is one of the most miserable people and has been for a long time. And I could tell you 100% it's because it's not the way she wanted her life to come out. And I look at myself, and I am lacking a few things that I had dreams for. But I have found, through no small effort on my own, so much shit that I would have never expected that is as important to me than anything I thought I wanted. And that's a major perspective shift. Like, I thought I'd be a dad and married off at like 26. I was bone fucking single for the better part of my 20s.
Yeah.
Single and not banging anybody, not dating anybody, couldn't fucking find somebody to suck my dick. And I was skinny then. I was fucking fit and had a lot of money and couldn't fucking find a bitch. I know it's being derogatory here, but that's my point. I couldn't even find a fucking drunk bitch at a bar to suck it. And all I wanted to be was a fucking dude who had a house and a fucking kid and a wife and a fucking job and no concept of anything I wanted to fucking do with my life. You know what's great about my life? You know what I want to fucking do? What I'm doing right fucking now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to do tomorrow? I don't fucking know.
Right.
Tomorrow I might not have any of this shit. I might have to fucking start over again. And then I'm just going to find the next fucking thing to live for.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything to live for at all. And now I got a fuckload of stuff to live for. And it's something I have to keep telling Jessica all the time. You don't have the things that you thought you would have. But how many things do you have right now to live for on a daily basis?
Right.
And I don't mean out of duty. I mean,
duty is valuable, though.
Duty is valuable, but duty will only carry you so far.
Yeah. Because
duty doesn't come from the sense of care. It comes from the sense of having to do the thing because it's obligation. Yeah. Duty, when it has care attached to it, absolutely. When duty is just straight obligation and nothing else, then it becomes almost valueless.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But the point is, if you have a thing that you care about and that's the thing that you keep waking up for, whatever that might fucking be, as long as it's not criminal, that might be bad. But it gives you a reason to fucking wake up every day. I had to wake up every day surprised that I wasn't dead because I didn't have a fucking reason to wake up.
Yeah.
So there was a time where I said, I'm still waking up for a reason. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've done a lot in the last 10 years on YouTube. A lot. You know, starting my channel, reviewing Gundams or toys or whatever the fuck. I built a giant fucking community, hosted fucking Gundam judgment events, customizing contests, learn how to fucking build all kinds of crazy cool shit. Had this huge fucking group of fans and friends and lost every fucking bit of it.
How?
Piece of shit from the outside. And it fucking hurts. It still hurts to this day. But you know where I am now?
Where you want to be.
Look at this.
Yeah.
But you know why this is where I want to be? Because this is where I fucking am. And I fucking built it.
Being happy about where you're at, yeah.
I was like, I built it. I shaped it. I fucking brought people in. I used to know. I didn't want to bring people in anymore. And now I got you over here. I had a stranger on the fucking show last week. I got 2 good friends that are mostly reliable to come on the fucking show every week. Love you, Chad. And then, you know, I've got our church group, which reinvigorated my...
I am FA now.
Well, you might be for a couple of weeks. He needs some fucking time to reset. He pushed himself too hard. And that, speaking of which, Hefe on the other side is exactly the same way. You know, he's going through some shit, and I don't even know that he knows he's going through it because he has forced himself to push himself so fucking far away from everything that really matters just to not think about all the bad thoughts. And it's a sad fucking thing, but I know that he needs some fucking help. And I know I needed help at some point. And mind you, I never got professional help.
Yeah.
But I analyzed myself because I went, okay, what's wrong with me? Okay, cool. Let's go look into how I can deal with anything about that.
Self-reflection is paramount.
Self-reflection is paramount, and too many people lack it, and too many people don't want to hear it.
It is hard to look yourself in the mirror and be like, you're a fucking idiot. What have you been doing with your life?
Yeah.
Like, you could have done this differently. You could have done this differently. And
yeah.
I mean, when you've sat there 3 inches from the mirror, fucking calling yourself names, like there's something powerful about that. Like, you taking accountability for your life, taking responsibility for your life and the position you're in, and not blaming others. And even when other people obviously have contributed,
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter because whatever they did was done then.
Yeah.
And if it's still bothering you now, years later, that's now a you problem.
If it's become your whole, if something that happened to you in the past has become your entire being in a negative way,
right?
Because obviously that can fuel you in a positive way depending on the situation,
right?
Then you got to do a lot more to figure yourself out and get past to the next thing that matters, because then you're stuck in the past. Now, mind you, I've got old injuries. Like I said, that whole Gundam community thing, I can literally blame that on a single person. Sure. I know exactly the person who screwed that up for all of us.
Sure.
And that same person is magnanimous in his victory over me.
Yeah.
In destroying my relationship to all those people. He's fine with what he did. And that's why I will never forgive that person for doing that.
Yeah.
I'm never going to pretend he didn't do that. You know, I have few things in this life that I can not forgive. And destroying things that I value or people I value is unforgivable.
Yeah.
Like, I got a friend who is no longer around. However, I will never forgive his ex-wife for what she did to him.
Yeah.
We're not even that close friends anymore. He doesn't even live in Texas anymore. But I will never forgive that woman for what she did to him, because she destroyed his life.
Yeah.
For the fun of it. Not because, and like, just, and even to the point, like, just a terrible, vindictive, horrible person. And I don't need to forgive that person for that. However, that person no longer has to be.
You forgive for you, not
well, that person never has to be a part of my life.
Right.
So I can just let that go.
Yeah.
But if it ever comes up again or in a direct manner, things are going to change.
Yeah.
However, I do want to, because this is a perfect time to do this, and we're running way over on time. All this like self-reflection and everything else like this fits perfectly into our meme of the week.
Okay.
That has been up on the screen for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do this way late in the show, right near the end of the show here, guys, because we are well over 2 hours already. And I know we didn't talk about anything we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about Lindsey Graham dying, Sam Neill dying, fucking House of the Dragon, all this other shit. But we've had a phenomenal conversation anyways. But with everything we've been talking about, we got to do this meme of the week. So me, put the fucking lights and flashing shit on the screen, and we're going to roll over here to the fucking meme of the week. And this is actually, I grabbed this last week, but a better one popped up. So just to go with this concept of struggle and men trying to be better, we have everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Attack them. Now they are fighting two battles.
Get stronger.
Get stronger. It's like, that's the funny fucking I misread this the first fucking time, by the way. Like, the first time I read it, I thought it meant something different. But
well, it normally does.
Yeah, but
so
no,
be nice, because you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah, but no, I read it, but no, I just read it wrong on the attack them. Now they're fighting two battles. I've read that wrong the first time, but that's fucking funny. But that is kind of how it does go, realistically. Like, everybody's going through, like, I got into it with a guy at work last week, right?
Mm.
And I don't know what the fuck he was going through that made him lash out at me that way. No fucking clue.
Right.
And like, yeah, I was criticizing him for something he did wrong, but I wasn't doing it in anger.
Right.
I wasn't yelling at him, I wasn't screaming at him, and he came at me with real violence.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. To the point where management's like, you guys can't work around each other. It's like, but we have to.
Right.
We're 2 of 3 people who work in this department. We have to literally work together every day. And the next day we saw each other and we did our fucking jobs and we didn't punch each other.
Right.
But then the rest of the week they decided to intervene and be like, no, you guys can't talk to each other. And then this week we didn't have anybody to play middleman, like today. And they're just like, well, what are we going to do? I was like, I don't know. Go back to work like it's fucking normal.
Right.
It's like, goddamn. It's like, you guys think that we're still sitting here waiting to fight each other? It's like, no, that shit was over with right after it fucking happened. I'm sure he felt like a dickhead.
Dude, it was so funny that you say that, because like it goes back to my oil field days.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, more often than people might think, but it does occasionally happen. And it's like 2 guys who are on the same crew might have a problem with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And a foreman will just say, you know what? Either I'm going to have to transfer one of you guys. Y'all are going to cut this shit out. Or, hey, I brought some boxing gloves today. You 2 go over there in that field and work out your problems.
Yeah, go beat shit out of each other, yeah.
And then we need to get this fucking done.
We still got work to do. Yeah.
Right. And
can y'all just deal with your horse shit so we can move on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I actually saw This actually fucking happened. Two guys who had been at each other's fucking throats. They went out they got off the right of way because you can't do it on the right of way.
Yeah, right.
They got off the right of way, went out into a field, fucking duked it out. And then when it was all said and done, they fucking, dapped each other up and we got back to work.
Good fight, bro.
I mean, it's like, okay.
They took out the problem they had and then were done and realized they were stupid and moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we don't actually have to physically fight like me and this guy. We might someday, but not at work. That'd be bad. But like, there's been several times at work where like there's been a horrible fucking thing back and forth. And we would always say, hey, take it out to the circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like take it outside the fence. Go. It's like if you do it on property, you're gonna have a legal problem. Go do it out there. They can't do anything but call the cops.
Right.
It's like here they're gonna have to fire you. You go out there, they can't.
Right.
But the whole point was like I saw it nearly happen several times. Like one dude got so pissed off, he's like fucking yelling at a guy in the middle of our giant morning meeting. Like everybody's there, and he gets fucking riled up, and he starts yelling at the guy, and everybody turns, and he's like, God, yelling all the fuck shit. Throws his shit on the ground. He said, fucking circle right now. And he starts taking off across the fucking parking lot. And I'm like, I think he means it, man. You should go. I was like, I'm pretty sure he means it. And then management stepped in and, fucking pulled him off for the day and, blah, blah, blah. But
I've been in a fight with, honestly, a good portion of my best friends. Me and my buddy
That's
Sean.
why you're friends.
Yeah, me and my buddy Sean fought. Me and my buddy Spencer fought.
Yeah.
As kids, we boxed a lot. Like me and my little brother literally ran like people almost never believe when I say this, but like we literally kind of ran like a fight club.
It happens.
So we wore boxing gloves.
As long as the teachers weren't fucking betting money.
Well, no, we did. It was after school.
Yeah,
so
of course.
so we lived. We used to live in North Spring, the neighborhood North Spring in Spring, obviously. And I went to Twin Creeks Middle School. We used to live right down the street from Twin Creeks. Now even when we got into high school.
I gotta wonder because Chad grew up in Spring.
Oh yeah? Chad who? What's his name?
Well, if you didn't ask, Ishii is the last name.
Ishii. I can't say that.
He's a little older than you, so I don't know if you guys would have been in school together.
Maybe not. But it got to the point where first it was just like me, my brother, my buddy Sean, Spencer, this kid Roy we used to hang out with, and we started just kind of boxing in the front yard. Well, of course, like that drew eyes and attention, right? Yeah. So it got to where like
it's obvious when a whole bunch of kids are
right, the other kids in the
front yard.
So just imagine this: where we had a corner house.
Can you guys build a barn, please? This is bad to do it on the lawn.
Well, so what used to happen was we would be boxing in the front yard. A bunch of other kids would be crowded around watching.
Yeah.
The security guard from Twin Creeks would see all of this stuff going on, and then he would drive over. And the first couple of times he drove over, of course, he got out of the car. He's all on our ass and everything. He's like, "What's going on here?" That sort of thing. And when he realized that we're just out here boxing, just having some fun, and like if someone got knocked down, we stopped, let them get up. If someone started bleeding, we stopped, give them some napkins, whatever. Like it wasn't nothing about it was aggressive. It was all fun and for sport. So what used to happen then, after a while, the cop would just come and park. It got to where he wouldn't get out of the car and mess with us or anything like that. He would just kind of come park, roll his window down, say what's up, and then do whatever on his computer until he got another call or whatever. And man, this went on for a while, and it actually ended up getting pretty big. It got to the point where there would be like 40 people at my house after school.
I'll ask him if he ever saw a fucking or ever caught wind of a fucking kids fight club going on. That'd be funny.
Hey, it was Officer Campbell.
Yeah.
I actually dated his daughter for a little while.
Of course you did.
So Officer Campbell was the Twin Creeks security guard, and he would come over. He was the one that would watch us a lot of the time just to make sure
he's just being the supervising adult. Make sure he didn't go too far.
Well, because technically Texas has mutual combat laws, and we were
true.
we were wearing boxing gloves. We were consenting.
Yeah.
It was all for sport. Now that isn't to say like we boxed. Like sometimes people get their nose broke or get knocked out. Like we were once we were teenagers. Like I was a sophomore, junior. Like we're big enough to hurt each other.
Oh yeah. You got weight now.
Yeah. So that was fun.
I was a fat kid. That would have been interesting.
I mean, those guys usually hit hard.
That's what I'm saying. But then I got taller and skinnier because I hit my growth spurt before everybody else.
Yeah.
So I was the tall, fit one for a minute.
So I have
caught up.
I have an August birthday, so I barely made the cutoff to enroll.
Oh yeah.
So I actually graduated when I was 17. So I was always like younger and smaller, really until like sophomore, junior year. Yeah. When I was like got to my full size or whatever.
Full size Tim.
Full size Tim. Before I filled out.
See, you matured.
Yeah.
As we go back to earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that was.
Which, by the way, I never finished that point.
Oh, you didn't?
No, that's sexual maturity, but it's fine.
Oh,
we'll finish your story, then I'll bring up what I was going to say, and then we'll wrap up.
okay. Well, I lost my train of thought. So that
Middle school finally got big enough.
Yeah, but I forgot where I was leading with the story.
I don't know. I think you were just having fun about how hurt you guys were getting to each other, or how
we were talking about how fighting your friends.
Yeah.
For men, at least,
Yeah.
it seems to make you closer.
usually because men are all about meritocracy and hierarchy,
and you don't want to
fighting establishes hierarchy.
Well, and it establishes like nobody.
It both enforces and establishes.
It's a
hierarchy.
bit of chicken pecking, I think, because nobody wants to have like that bitch of a friend.
Yeah, because you're all a bunch of cocks.
Yeah, right.
But it establishes the pecking order.
Sure,
is what you're kind of getting at.
Well, and then there's a respect thing. Like if a guy was a douchebag or whatever, and he was being a bully or a punk or making a lot of my fights that I got into were like in defense of others, like my little brother or something, you know. And my little brother, he's a tough dude. Now, yeah. Well, he was tough then too. He just was a very late bloomer. I mean, Josh was like 95 pounds, like 5'3" as a sophomore. Like very late bloomer.
I mean, I knew so many guys like that who were even the seniors.
Yeah.
And then they hit their fucking growth spurt.
Right. Now
after graduation.
Right. Now Josh is like my size.
Nuts.
He's like my size now, but he wasn't then. Yeah. He was kind of runty when we were little. But he had a mouth like a pit bull. He would, I remember.
Well, you got to be witty if you can't throw your fist.
But he would talk shit. No, it wasn't even that he would. I remember one time he got into a fight with this big dude named Xavier. I mean, Xavier was like 6'2" on the football team, like Jack, like big dude. And this is Josh is little, like 5'5".
Yeah.
Okay. I see this about to go down because Josh said it was going to happen. And so, you know, we weren't the type to like jump in unless someone was getting jumped. Like we were all about the fair fight. Like if you want to catch a fair one, let's roll.
Yeah.
But I saw this and I was like, Josh, you might want to let me take this one for you, bro. Like this dude's that's a big dude, bro.
It's like, that's a lot of meat swinging at you.
Yeah. Well, Josh wouldn't, he was like, nah, I got it. And honestly, the fight started out with Xavier whooping Josh's ass.
Yeah. But
Josh was fast. He was running. Josh can take a punch.
Yeah.
And so he just ate everything that Xavier had to give him. And Xavier got tired. And I'm not kidding you when I say Josh had to jump up.
Yeah, he jumped to punch him.
He had to, and
it's a fucking movie.
He busted him so clean and hard, right square in the mouth.
Yeah.
Busted both lips and his nose with this punch. Knocked his earrings out.
Jesus.
This big ass dude sits down on the curb, spits out a big mouthful of blood, and he's like, "I'm done." I was like,
"It's like I'm tired."
I was like, "Bro, you got it."
I'm tired, and you hit me with one shot. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, it was funny too because what Josh told me after that, it was a compliment. I don't think he meant it to be as a compliment, but it was a compliment. He was like, "Well, I've been fighting with y'all my whole life." He's like, "He didn't punch as hard as you, Tim." He said, "That's how the first time he tagged me, that's when I was like, okay, I got it."
That's so anime. Been fighting you guys my whole life. That guy doesn't scare me.
Yeah, I mean that's literally how it went. That's what Josh said. He was like, after that first time he rocked me, he said not that he rocked me. He said that first time he caught me.
Yeah,
he's like, I can handle this. You know.
Well, you know what's so funny about that? I've been in a very, very few actual physical fights in my life, but every time I was in one, and mind you, I wasn't big yet. Yeah, like I said, fat-ish kid. But middle school was my first fight, and it was literally 2 hits and it was over. First hit was me against the lockers. Second hit was my fist to the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
So I sucker punched him because he was walking away.
Yeah.
But I also did it directly in front of the teacher.
Yeah.
Like literally we're going into the classroom after doing the bathroom break where everybody walks. And literally teacher's standing here counting all the kids, and I just fucking wallop him as hard as I can straight in the back of his fucking head. Now mind you, this guy's a fucking tough guy.
Yeah.
And he came back at me like he was about to, tear this up even further. And then, of course, that's when we got broke up. But then we went to the fucking office. We both got rode up. And then realistically, from that point on, we weren't really friends, but there was respect.
That's how Josh and Xavier were.
Even till way later. Because one, he thought I was just literally a pushover. And then I punched him in the back of the fucking head.
Right.
Now, mind you, I probably could have hit. I was heavier than him, but he knew how to fight. So it would have been whatever. The second fight that I ever kind of got in was on the basketball court. And I told this story before. Mind you, this is late junior high, not quite high school yet. Or maybe it was right. Maybe it was actual like junior year or whatever, freshman. Been in school with this guy forever. He's a small dude, big attitude, just like you're talking about. Small dude, big fucking pit bull attitude. And he is a scrappy motherfucker.
Yeah.
and I was fast, but I was not that fast. But I also couldn't be knocked over. So I would just get in the way of people. So what I did is he's charging the fucking lane, and I just stood there with my hands up. He ran into me and fell down. He literally bounced off of me, lost the ball, hit the ground, got pissed off, jumped back up, and he's like, "Hey, man, fuck you." You know, whatever he said. Yeah. And then he's pissed that he got knocked down. I didn't shove him to the ground. He literally bounced off of me.
Yeah.
And then he punches me square in the fucking face. Like, I'm not
At
fighting
football
this
practice?
guy. Basketball.
Basketball practice. Okay.
Not even practice. This is fucking PE.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In front of everybody. He just pops up, gets pissed off, fucking bows up, and literally just jabs me straight in the fucking face.
So you just posted, he ran into you,
Yeah.
gets mad,
yeah,
and then throws a punch?
Yeah. And then I went, ow. I was like, fuck, my lip's bleeding from my braces. And then I just literally went to the bathroom calmly to go deal with the fact my lip was bleeding. And he was so fucking confused. He's like, I just punched this guy square in the face and he didn't even flinch.
Right.
Like, I didn't flinch. I didn't fall. And then I just walked away annoyed that my lip was bleeding. He was so confused.
Yeah. That's pretty emasculating, actually.
Yeah.
You saw him as so little of a threat that you're
like, because I wasn't going to fight him, and I was worried that my braces were fucked up.
Right.
And also, that's what hurt. The braces against my lip hurt more than his fist against my face. So it was just so funny because he's like, I thought, what? And then so one of the other guys follows me to the bathroom, and I'm just like, I mean, you can go tell coach. You know, I know he's off doing coachly things somewhere. You know, we're just fucking around playing basketball, doing whatever we're doing. It's like, go get him if you want to go get him. But I mean, like, I'm fine. You know, I just stuffed some fucking paper towels in my lips so it stopped bleeding. And then I don't even know that he got rode up or anything because it didn't go anywhere. And I didn't get rode up because I didn't fight anybody.
Right, right.
It is like, because also like, I don't need to fight him. He's already fallen down just from running into me, and he just punched me in the face and I didn't even flinch. And I was like,
probably let this one slide.
It's like, I was just annoyed. But after that, he also didn't fuck with me, you know?
Right.
You know, and the same thing, other people realized, oh, we don't want to run into him. It's like some of the other guys who also would have charged the lane. They're like, oh yeah, don't run into that guy. Because this other guy who's older than me, you know, faster and everything else like that, but I've known him since Boy Scout days. Whenever I would post up like that, instead of charging at me, he would run around. He's like, oh, fuck, wall. And then go around me.
Oh, fuck, wall.
Yeah. It's like, that's basically what it was. Just big defensive wall. And they're just like, okay. It's like, so, you know, I guess I got a reputation for being friends with everybody. And I guess it's like, you could fuck with him, but we don't know what will happen. It's like, not because they're scared, because they're confused. They're just like, I hit him and he just walked away. It's like, I don't know what to do with that. Because most guys would have got hit in the face. And instantly now you're on the floor rolling around,
right?
You know, throwing wild swings, right? Like most fucking high school fights would have been, you know, cafeteria fights, right? Saw so many of those where it's just wild swinging of fucking dumbasses, right? Just you're probably hitting the table more than you're hitting the person, right? In this case, I think he knew how to properly fight because he took like an actual stance.
Yeah,
like he didn't throw a wild punch; he jabbed me straight in the fucking teeth. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
And then I just went, ow, and fucking walked away.
Yeah.
It's like, I could just imagine. I think everybody there was also like, what just happened?
Bringing up fighting in the cafeteria actually just reminded me of a funny story. It didn't actually result in a fight, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So one morning, me and my little brother, Josh, I don't even remember what started it now, but we were kind of going back and forth arguing about something. And at some point during the argument, Josh takes his like little breakfast pizza, right? And he just throws it right in my face, dude. And when I'm telling you, it's like cartoonish.
Okay.
The way the like pizza stuck to,
fuck. Sorry.
It was like cartoonish the way the pizza stuck to my face, and then like the bread part fell and the cheese stuck to my face. Like it was something straight out of like Ninja Turtles or something, right?
Sure.
So naturally, I'm pissed. Josh realizes what he's done, and he takes off running. So I jump up, I take off running after Josh. And at this point, I'm trying to get to him. So I actually had jumped up on the table. I'm like running down the lunch table trying
Oh my
to
God.
catch Josh.
You guys literally lived in a fucking movie. I don't know if you guys know this.
So anyways, Josh gets down like a little ways, and some other guys in the cafeteria had seen what happened. There was a couple of these kids on the basketball team, and these black dudes, and they were like, "Hey, little bro, you're gonna have to take that ass whooping." And he was like, "Nah, man, that's my brother." And they were like, "Oh shit, run! He gonna get you at the house.
He's gonna get you regardless." Yeah.
They're like, "Get out of here, bro."
Yeah.
So and then they didn't like try to stop me or
That's
anything.
why you didn't get in trouble with anybody who also rode your bus.
Yeah.
Like if you knew they were on your bus, you didn't fuck them up at school. You just fucking waited.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
like, I don't want to take this home.
So our little fight club got so popular back in the day that when two people wanted to fight so that they wouldn't get in trouble for doing it,
Yeah.
it actually became a thing like, "Hey, I'll meet you at Tim and Josh's house."
Yeah.
And then kids would come over to our house, have people
I'm
supervise.
surprised your own kids don't have the same thing going on.
Actually, it's kind of funny you say that.
Oh no.
Not to the degree that we had, and we kind of live out in the country, whereas I grew up in the suburbs. But
Actually, it'd be more prevalent in the fucking country.
it
honestly.
would, but there's not the
You're not as
the
close.
density of kids.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like the school bus.
Which
just,
is why it would be even funnier. It's like now you got kids rolling up. Hey, we're here to fight.
No.
No, we're here to fight.
Yeah.
Can we use your backyard?
We're just not trying to go to jail.
Go to the chicken coop.
Yeah. So to go to the chicken coop.
Chicken coop.
No, so Landon will, and his friends will come over. They're all into UFC. They love getting together and having little poker tournaments and stuff like that. So they'll come over and we'll do a bonfire and grill.
See, once again, your kids are more mature than most
well,
at the age they're at because of their take on more mature.
Well, James is 6 and I'm teaching him chess.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like you talked about earlier. We were talking about how kids are brought up, right? And a lot of the issues that we're seeing in the younger generations, honestly, we need to blame on the parents.
Yeah.
Because something my dad taught me was not that it was necessarily true, but he would always say, "No one's coming to rescue you."
Yeah.
He's like, "You need to be able to take care of things yourself, and
Exactly.
and if you end up in a situation that you created for yourself, you need to figure out how to get yourself out of it for yourself."
Yep.
And my dad made us work. He taught us the value of hard work. He taught us the value of $1. My dad, I remember being like 10 years old, sandblasting cylinder heads.
Yeah.
Just because that was a stage of the process that I could do. My dad used to have me and Josh tear down motors, separate all the parts into the basket so they can go into the hot tank. And then when we would get them out of the hot tank, we would transfer, blow everything off with an air hose. And you transfer, like the cylinder heads and valves and anything that needed to be sandblasted over to the sandblaster, and we sandblast it.
Yeah.
From there, it goes to, doing other stuff. The head probably needed to be surfaced. You need to do a valve job, whatever the case may be.
By the way, I'm obsessed with those head surfacing videos on Instagram.
They're badass, ain't they?
Especially in modern tech.
I actually love when Dad taught me to use the surfacer. When Dad taught me to use a surfacer, I ran that thing for, months.
Dude, I used to love turning brake rotors for that same reason.
It is cool. It looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was one that I just said derailed just ever so slightly. There's one I had that was so fucking warped. I had to turn that bitch in like fucking 20 thou.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. That's how much it took to fucking correct that thing. And I'm like, I'm not buying new rotors. And it's just like like smoking.
You should have done it in passes.
Yeah.
You don't do 20.
No, I didn't have time. I
You
didn't.
just running
I
it?
mean, like when I realized how out of round it was, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be here hours doing this fucking thing, and I just said, fuck it. This is how deep I need to go. Keep the WD-40 handy.
Yeah.
And just keep it cool. And that's all we did. It's just like we're gonna grind this bitch down. And by the way, I learned how to turn brakes in class, but then I was doing it at my friend's shop when I needed to do it myself.
Did you do it on a flywheel surfacer? Like the one where you put it on the tabletop?
No, it's old school brake lathe.
Brake lathe.
Yeah. Well, I said it was a brake rotor.
Well, yeah, but I guess
Old school brake lathe.
when we've done, I guess I've never used a brake lathe
Oh, it's like a
because we can just
with
mount.
brakes.
Like my dad has a flywheel surfacer because
Sure.
it's more engine based. We don't do a lot of brakes or
Sure,
anything.
sure.
But in the past, when I've used it,
See,
you
I've
can
never
just-
used a surfacer like that.
We just mount the brake rotor because if it's flat on this surface,
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do the backside
we would
that way.
right.
yeah.
We'd mount it just like we do a flywheel.
Sure. Yeah, no, the brake lathe is it's a lathe, so it is what it is.
I guess you're right though because doing it on both sides, it was always easy to do the front.
Yeah.
But when you had to flip it over and then work the
edge,
the edge, you had to be careful how you did that.
Exactly. So, okay, because we are way over here. We're almost 5 o'clock.
Sorry.
So, no, it's fine. We're having a good conversation. So I wanted to finish the thought I had a long time ago about the sexual maturity thing and why humans are off from where we should be. So I agree. We're not supposed to live as long as we do. We artificially expand our life. We also have artificially expanded when we have kids. You have 50-year-old women fucking pumping out babies now.
That's crazy, though.
That is absolutely crazy because 40 is already considered a
geriatric pregnancy.
Yes,
yeah.
You know this, and that's one reason we have problems because Jessica's 40 now, and it's hard as hell to get pregnant. There's a reason why. One, we develop so slowly compared to other mammals, specifically.
It's got to be the intelligence.
We have an expanded infancy for years, right? But then we're able to get up, run around, almost to our detriment, right? But also we did that in the age when we literally were having to fight off fucking wolves to keep ourselves alive, or bears and other fucking things, right? So we had to have a younger reproductive period, literally, because the life expectancy was so fucking short that you had to reproduce early enough at what would have been the halfway point of life.
Right.
So getting the
like
reason
15,
why
16 pregnancies when you're only living to
fucking
35.
12 or 13 because you're only living to your 30s at best. You're getting like 33, 35 and you're fucking old heads with fucking grandkids.
Really?
Think about it. Like back in the day. Yeah. Like people didn't like we see portrayals of old people from ancient times, right? They're old. No, they're not. They're just ragged. They're fucking 30-year-olds who have been through the shit their entire fucking lives and have 15 fucking kids because it's the only way you could exist. The only way you kept your line alive was to have a fuckload of kids as early as possible. And you, like, as soon as you could. The reason why girls can reproduce so early is because, genetically speaking, humans should be reproducing in their teens. We're the horniest we've ever been. Women are the most fertile they're ever going to fucking be between 15 and 20, right? But when do they have kids? When they're fucking 28 or 30.
Yeah.
After they've already lost a lot of that. Men can reproduce whenever, but we're never going to be hornier than we are then. We're never going to be the most physically fit unless you get into modern day. So we physically matured fast enough so that men were taller and stronger and the bone structure was there so that we could hunt and gather in our teens to protect our fucking female companions that were pregnant, which 9-month long gestation period, 2 years of fucking uselessness out of children. So you had to be, so imagine you're having kids at 13, probably with multiple girls, because it's the only way you could propagate a fucking area that fast.
Right.
I'm not saying morality wise. I'm just saying this was just life, right?
Well, none of this is technically modern morality.
It's not a modern day Christian morality.
Right.
It's just the existence of life.
Right.
So
we're talking about animalistic,
but the fact
early
that
human development.
Yeah, we're talking about the human animal still retains this exact feature. Thousands of years after we evolved to what would be considered modern man.
Yeah.
Like, because modern man, as we know it, has been around like 100,000 years.
Aren't we still getting smarter, though? Aren't we we still have like our brain capacity?
Our brain capacity has always been the same. It's just that the things that we're learning are different. Because we had to survive without what we know as technology.
Have you heard the saying, or not the saying, I guess it's kind of like a theory or whatever, but have you heard that ADHD and autism are actually just people who were wired for like hunting and gathering?
Probably.
Because you're more alert to your sense, like for someone who's autistic, for example, like
depending on the autism, but yes.
Right, yeah. There's a huge spectrum, but
yeah.
Typically, in a nutshell, what you could say autism is like hypersensitivity.
Yeah, usually.
Right?
I mean, look at all the sensory things that we have nowadays.
Exactly.
People have a hypersensitivity to sound. So what do? We put earmuffs on them.
Sure.
It's like, no, those people need to be put in positions where their superpowers can be useful.
Yeah, like if you're hunting and you're up in a tree or however.
It's like if your body is programmed to listen harder than anyone else's body, you need to train that and how to fucking listen proper.
Right.
Right. We've taken, like, just going down that line right before we finish here. I agree that odds are those were a genetic mutation based on the need
to hunt and gather.
To hunt and gather or protect.
Or to protect, yeah. To make you
Yeah.
more alert.
And look at a lot of some of the most successful military people, especially modern day, are autistic because they're good at following orders. They're really good with structure, and like they can focus more in certain situations than others could probably do it.
Right.
But they're going to fail in some of the other stuff, but they'll be very good at a very targeted task.
I've heard it said that modern neurotypical people are actually the neurodivergents, and that the people that we consider neurodivergent.
That's the point of view, but whatever.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the truth.
The other thing is it all comes down to point of view, because what's neurotypical and what's neurodivergent.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like I would be considered neurodivergent on a lot of older spectrums of things, but in no way would I consider myself autistic by modern standards. But I don't think the way other people think. I focus on different things. I process information differently to what a lot of other people do. So in a way, I'm neurodivergent compared to the current regular day populace.
Right, but the regular day populace.
But you wouldn't say that, right? You know.
Yeah, but it seems to me that like neurotypical people, no offense to everybody,
dum-dums. You dum-dums out there.
Well, okay, not to
He's
say...
talking down to us now, guys. But okay, we got to end, dude. We're pushing 3 hours.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, nobody's going to listen this long unless they're that interested. We can keep talking, but I got to stop recording.
I got you.
So, guys, either way, if you want to see more from Tim, let us know in the fucking comments down below. He's technically speaking now our fourth chair. You know, he's volunteered to be our fourth chair, and considering I was lacking 2 chairs today, I invited him over. I was like, I need somebody to talk at. And once again, we didn't even talk about any topic. Lindsey Graham is dead. We didn't even get into the implications of that. I don't know if it's sad, but you know, we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Sam Neill died of Jurassic Park fame. More sad, in my opinion, because I just liked him better. And as far as I know, he didn't, want to go to war with Iran all the time. But, as far as I know, maybe he did. I don't know. He's from New Zealand. But whatever. And then I was also going to talk, we were going to talk more about episode 200 in the spectrum, but it's fine. But either way, guys, we got to go because it's getting fucking late and my computer can only do so much at a time. I have to leave room to offload all the footage. I haven't even done that yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got fucking 3 cameras worth of footage here sitting here.
Yeah.
Presumably, as long as I didn't fuck everything up. And I got to get back to editing things. So either way, guys, if you like this conversation, want to hear more of it, by all means, let us know in the comments down below. But also let us know what you think about any of the crazy crap we said today, whether it's about the data centers, whether it's the point of view on whether weapons can be used a certain way or whatever, or if I made any points as I was sitting here arguing with Tim on purpose.
Let's argue about it. I love that shit.
Yeah. Well,
this is how we learn.
Well, and see, that's the
Find
other
common ground.
And see, that's the other thing. I don't have to agree with the point I'm making as long as I'm pushing against your point.
It's a mark of a true mind to be able to entertain an idea without accepting it.
Yeah.
It's a mark. What is it? Did I say true mind? It's a mark of a mature mind. Or what is it? It's a quote. I'm misquoting it. I fucked that up.
It's fine.
You can look it up.
I got the point.
Something to that effect.
Me, if I care enough, put it on the screen. I probably won't. Good job, me. Remember, me is the editor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We covered that on episode 200. Me.
Yeah,
is
you don't have a
editor.
Jamie to yell out to.
No. Me. Look that up. One day, I would love to have somebody sitting on the computer pushing all the buttons, and I don't have to do it. But I don't have a person like that yet.
Not yet.
Someday I'll have a little gremlin.
You will.
I will.
I believe it.
Yep. Either way, guys, do the like and subscribe thing here. And, of course, go check me out at _Shoky. Go see Grounded and Grumpy. He never posts anything, but go check that out. Hit up C4 Graphics so he can afford his new fucking printer, although everything should look fantastic, much like our new banner will, because his printer will work properly. It won't be all desaturated and weird. So, and then, of course, go check out Fortified Ironworks if you want to give him some business, just not so much that he can't afford to come hang out with us, but enough that he can keep paying his fucking bills.
I would appreciate that.
And then, of course, whenever it does come out on episode 200, go give Tim and Natasha some love in the fucking comments, because she was a trooper given everything we went through for both of those episodes. And, well, let's just say we learned too much about you guys on that last one. We learned way too much. Way too much.
Probably.
I might have to yeah. Either way.
Edit some stuff out.
Yeah. No.
No, we're leaving it in there.
No, we don't edit for content. We edit for context.
I got you.
So I make it look worse if I can.
Awesome.
It's like remove one half of that conversation and hopefully it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll see you guys next time. And once again, we will be taking a short break after we get to actual episode 200. But in theory, you guys won't see that. We'll see what happens. It depends on how long it takes me to edit that damn thing. So, and with that, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.